Hello, 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 hello. Can you all see me? Can you all hear me? Test, 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 test. 1, 2, 3. Is this thing on? I should hope so because this is really, really awkward if not. Okay, let me just pop out this chat right quick. Ooh, damn, that's 60 frames per second. That shit kind of wavy though. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, I normally don't stream at 60 frames per second, but considering this webcam supports it, it's like, damn, son, it's pretty dope. I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. But what's up, people? What's up? What's up, people? What's happening? Happy friggin' Monday, everybody. Hope y'all are doing well. I'm seeing a lot of homies in here. Shout out to y'all. This 60 frame per second shit be tripping me out, bro. I'm over here. I'm already exaggerated. I'm very animated when I'm on camera, but this shit right here, it's like, whew, everything looks absolutely fabulous. Oh, I appreciate that. Coming from you, Daniel Pack, that means a lot, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, y'all. But yeah, you know the vibes, you guys. Refresh the streams if you aren't seeing the stream. I don't know how you heard that. But yeah, we should be good to go. Should be good to go. I'll just bring this down a little bit. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of the homies. I'm seeing the homies. Let's hear some screaming shiz. Let's hear some screaming. Damn, son. All right, we back again. For how long? I do not know. Oh my lord. Okay. Um, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry about that, you guys. I think it's pretty much common knowledge that for the past couple of streams, I've been having some weird issues with YouTube. For whatever reason, my computer, OBS, they both crash and I get blue screens. And you know how it is on PC. You got to troubleshoot everything. So I checked everything from my graphics card, my motherboard. Maybe I was missing some drivers. I was trying to figure out everything, man. I went ahead and I uninstalled OBS, reinstalled it, fresh boot, all that stuff. And it was working well for the Twitch streams. I just streamed over on Twitch a few hours ago and it was awesome. But for whatever reason, every time I try to come back to YouTube, it's just like, nah, fam, this ain't it, chief. So I apologize in advance for that if this keeps happening. If anything, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as an opportunity to plug my Twitch channel, which I should have here. I'm sorry about that, you guys, because for whatever reason, I don't know if it's a sign from the man upstairs that I should be on Twitch more. Maybe, but every time I try to go to YouTube, it crashes, bro. Always crashes. And Twitch, it only crashed once. So let me go ahead and get y'all my my Twitch channel so y'all can follow that. I'm going to post it in the description because if this shit crashes again, we're going to go ahead and go on to Twitch, man. That's all I can say because something about YouTube, I don't know what it is. But we're gonna go for as long as we can. So, yeah. It really does bring down the stream a little bit when you got to talk about all the technical difficulties. But we're going to see. We're going to see, you guys. And for whatever reason, Streamlabs is not posting the chat in here, which makes no sense whatsoever. I'm sorry about that, you guys. I'll have to update that later. But yeah, so that's my Twitch right there. If y'all want to go ahead and follow it, that's all I can really say. Let me see. Yeah, because I used to have it where Streamlabs, it builds it into the stream itself, so you see it, but it's not coming through. I don't know why, so I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way before we had any of the Streamlabs and all that stuff. I'm just gonna copy paste this into the software Like I said, this shit ghetto as fuck right now. And we just gonna go ahead and get this popping, man. All right, let's put that there. It should appear in 1 second. Okay, yeah, it's not ideal, unfortunately, but at least there's a chat there. I'm sorry, guys. We'll see how far we can go before this shit crashes again. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we just might as well get this show on the road. Welcome to another exciting and, well, it's definitely exciting with how many times this stream has been crashing over the past week. And if it crashes again, you are literally just gonna, y'all ain't gonna hear this because it's gonna crash, but I'm just gonna be screaming my brains out like, why the fuck you wanna work? You know what I'm saying? But welcome to Ask Neo, you guys. Ask Neo is this somewhat consistent live stream that I do where you guys ask me questions and I try my very best to answer them when the stream isn't crashing left, right, and center. Usually I take this time to talk about, you know, all the laundry list and pimp out the stuff I've been working on, but everything is down below in the video description. Links to my Twitter, my Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, YouTube membership, yada, yada, yada. Appreciate y'all for supporting the channel. Appreciate y'all liking the videos, tweeting the videos out. That stuff does wonders. And yeah, we just gonna dive straight into this stream. And I see we already got a couple of super chats, which I want to mention beforehand. For anybody who is asking any type of question during the stream and you really want me to answer it, I try my best to get to everybody's questions. I really do. But there's so many of y'all, so many amazing people who ask so many great questions that it's just too much for me to do right now. So if you want to make sure your question gets asked, hit it up with a super chat. That's all I got to say. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll make sure to read all of those because they're just big and bold and, you know, y'all spend money on that shit. But other than that, y'all, just, you know what to do. Daniel Pack already. So first things first, we have a $2 super chat from Dongosan33, aka Austin. He's the one who designed all the new logos you see on the channel, in addition to some other stuff that's coming onto the stream experience, which we're working on. I got to hit him up with more details, but $2 super chat. Here's some condolences for the tech difficulties. I appreciate that, Austin. Thank you so much, bro. It's unfortunately par for the course this past week on YouTube, man. What can I say? And then we have a $4.99 super chat coming in from Daniel Pack. Now that we're back, make sure y'all like the stream. Oh, that is right. That is right, you guys. Daniel Pack, he is the like police. So he's like, y'all are getting this entertainment for free. The least you can do is hit that like button. So periodically, Daniel Pack is going to remind y'all to like the stream. You know, support your favorite content creator. So I appreciate that. And shout out to everybody. Happy Monday. I hope y'all are having a great freaking evening, morning, afternoon. Hell, it might be Tuesday for some of y'all right now. Of course, elephant in the room, as you guys are probably seeing every time I move my head. Yes, I have glasses that only have one arm to it. Basically, I don't know how it fucking happened, but this shit came off, and I was trying to get out to my eye doctor to get this properly fixed, but for whatever reason, every single time I went to Costco the past 2 weeks, there hasn't been anyone there who's like, I guess, capable enough to screw this shit back on. And either way, I'm due for another visit to the doctor, and I got to get myself a new pair of frames anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and do that shit. But hey, you know, I'm blind without these, so I got to do what I can. But yeah, we fixed the blue screen issue. Now YouTube is slapping. Nah, that's the thing, bro. We got another blue screen for whatever reason. So I don't know. So what I did this time was I just reseated all my RAM, you guys, because I was going down the list of things that could be the problem. And then they were just like, try reseating your RAM. Maybe that's the case. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, right now, I just took out my new RAM that I bought like a month or so back. So I'm on 16 gigs versus 32. And I mean, that's fine for streaming. You know what I'm saying? But we going to see if that was the actual problem. So if this stream goes ahead without a hitch, it's one of two things. It was either the RAM or it was some type of a weird communication between OBS and YouTube. I do not know. But yeah, we're going to see. We're going to see, y'all. So let's get ahead and let's get through some questions. Oh, shout out to Colin, my boy. Hey, Chris, how you doing tonight, man? I'm sorry to hear about the NXP podcast. Yup. As you guys know, we got the worst of these blue screens during the podcast we did on the weekend, which sucks because that was our comeback episode. And then to have that shit have all types of issues and difficulties, man, it makes no sense, bro. It makes no sense. But I appreciate y'all for understanding. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, guys. Start your computer in safe mode, bro. I might do that for the next time, King. I might do that. But yeah, y'all, go ahead, ask your questions, and I'll try my best, y'all. So this one's coming from Nawaf. Yo, Neo, you ever get bored of gaming for some reason? Absolutely. It happens to the best of us. I get bored of all my hobbies. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's watching movies, reading books, playing games, it all happens. You know, it's all about pacing yourself, number one, as to not get burnt out. So just because you have the time to really game, me, myself, and I, oh, that's my song right there. And it's also a catchphrase. I just, like that. You know what I'm saying? Just like, you know what I'm saying? Just because I have the time to game a lot, like let's just say, for example, I have an entire day free to myself. I did all my errands. I did all my everything I needed to do out here in the real. I'm caught up with YouTube, did my streams. Just because I have like a whole day to play video games, more often than not, I don't really play video games all day because then I just burn myself out. So me, myself, and I usually, my gaming sessions, I limit them to like 1 to 2 hours at a time. And then I go ahead and I do something else. And if I'm really craving a game, I go right back to it. But I just think that a nice balance is right because I actually suffered gaming burnout earlier in the year. As you guys remember, there was just like a period of 2 weeks where I really wasn't gaming at all, which is so weird because I had finally gotten the opportunity with the pandemic and everything to get back to things I love. But I instead of gradually easing myself into these gaming sessions, man, I just went full throttle to the wall, pedal to the metal. And I fucked myself bad, bro, because I couldn't even play the games that I loved. So I remember finishing up Final Fantasy VII Remake and then going straight into Trails of Cold Steel. And I remember because I already put like 30-something hours into Final Fantasy, and then I already put like 25 hours into Trails, and I was like, I can't do it like I used to as a kid, man. So I actually had to ease myself back into gaming with light games such as, you know, the Telltale games. Love those games. So I eased myself back into that. And then I actually started playing a couple of, if y'all can believe it or not, this was like the only time I really played the games as a service stuff. So, you know, I tried out Call of Duty Warzone for a bit, tried a little bit of Destiny, and those were definitely great into getting me back into the mindset. And yeah, so I just approach games very conservatively now as to not burn myself out, even things that I love. So yeah, I just do things that way. Okay. Let's see. And like I said, there's so many great questions, you guys. Trying my best. Where's Waldo, man? I'm dead. Yeah, rocking that Where's Waldo shirt, y'all. You know the vibes. You know the vibes, man. Let's see. Come on, hit that like button. Hit that like button. That's true. That's true, y'all. They telling you to hit that like button. Okay. Now the Steelers are down by 6 with 15 seconds left. Yep, it's 2020. Well, I mean, that's the Steelers in general, though. You know what I'm saying? We talk about Nier Automata in the chat. Yes, Nier Automata is one of the best games, not only of the generation, but I go so far as to say of all time. Just because of that story, man. That Nier Automata is that game where I remember finishing it for the first time and I legit sat there thinking about it. Thinking about that game for days. And then I went back to try to do another playthrough. You know how it is with other playthroughs. I lose interest and I move on to the next game after I finished it. But that's that game where if I really wanted to, I would definitely go back for another playthrough to experience all the different endings that are there, because there are a lot of them. And there's just so much. What Yoko Taro puts into his games is unlike anybody else, man. Unlike anybody else. So if you haven't played Nier Automata, get it. It's on PlayStation. It's on PC. And if you have Xbox, listen, I'm talking to all my Xbox fans here. It's on Xbox Game Pass. Y'all pay for Game Pass. You ain't paying for the games. Give it a shot. You might end up falling in love with it. All right. Cyberpunk 2077 thoughts. Also glad the stream's back up. Well, knock on wood as far as that's concerned, Marcus. But yes, we might as well just use this as an opportunity to talk about Cyberpunk. So I know there's still a lot of questions that y'all are asking. I'm going to go ahead and answer those when we get to it. But we might as well make this the Cyberpunk discussion because everyone has been wondering, what do I think about the current situation of things? So hold your questions if you are asking them. But as far as Cyberpunk 2077 is concerned, so reviews have started to come out for the game. As I'm sure many of y'all are aware, it's cutting it pretty close because the game comes out on Thursday, which is such a weird date. Comes out Thursday and we're getting reviews today. And unfortunately, a lot of those reviews that we're seeing do not represent the vast majority of people in the review industry, because Cyberpunk 2077 hasn't even been given out to some of the bigger game outlets. Of course, it goes to the IGNs, the GameSpots, things like that, but there's still a lot of credible people in the industry who haven't even got a chance to play the game. Me, myself, and I, for example, I get a lot of companies who send game codes to me, a lot of big games that come out. And honestly, I'm picky when it comes to those sort of things. Just because someone sends me a code for, let's just say, 2K is always in my inbox. So they're always like, hey, here's NBA 2K, whatever. And I'm just kind of whatevs on it. But Cyberpunk is a game that I wanted to play. And every single website out there is saying that, we might not even get the game codes until the day the game comes out. Which y'all know what that means. Bare minimum, it's going to take like at least 2 weeks to get a proper impression from the vast majority of people. Because it's an RPG. People put some time into it. And that right there is the only that's not just the only spooky part. But CD Projekt Red is also prohibiting everybody who is reviewing the game before launch to use any of their footage in the game. Which I think is very strange because these reviews for the most anticipated game, honestly, I'd say of the whole generation, you're not letting people see what the game looks like. You're only letting them use pre-approved B-roll footage. I understand there is a 43 gigabyte pre-launch patch, and that's not even counting the day one update. I get it. But still, people, what their impressions of what to expect from a game are going to be based off your review and what you say. And if we can't see any gameplay of what y'all have been playing, it's just, I don't know, man. It's very, very shaky. And if any other studio had done what CD Projekt Red did, people would be taking them to task, as they should. So that right there is just kind of strange. Like, I understand they have this day one update, but again, that's a commentary on the industry as a whole, where, okay, so now we can't even show footage for games we're looking forward to because the day one patch isn't out. Guys, that's not like a 1 gigabyte patch, 5 gigabyte patch. That's 43 gigs. That's bigger than Persona 5 Royal. And this is a 200 plus hour game. And you're telling me like Cyberpunk, we're not privileged to see any of that footage? Come on now. That being said, from reading the reviews, it seems like it is a solid experience. Obviously, these reviews aren't really mentioning spoilers, so the jury is still out as far as the story is concerned. But a lot of them did pick up on one thing: the bugs in the game. There are a lot of, which is to be expected when it comes to open world experiences. I get it. But still, you're giving games 10 out of 10. And in that same review, you're saying that there are game-breaking bugs and the game has crashed multiple times and there are NPCs flying over the place and it's just like, what the hell? You're saying it hampers your experience, yet you're still giving it a 10 out of 10. Like I said, these things could be remedied with the day one patch. And it could be fixed within the weeks to come. But on day one, somebody's going to go out there and spend that $60. And your impressions need to be indicative of that $60. And again, it's so strange. Like, how in the world is... You tell me that the reviewers apparently have like a day zero patch, which is like half of what the update is. It just seems to me like the management of this game is all over the fucking place. And I'm not a game developer. I am not a programmer. I am not a designer. I am not a studio lead. I'm not an executive. I'm only commentating on what I'm seeing. But what I'm seeing right here just seems like bad management across the board, man. It just seems very spooky, man. Very spooky. Like I said, I'm not saying the game is going to be garbage because people going to clip this and say, oh, Neo is hating on this. He's just an anti-Cyberpunk establishment. Motherfucker, I have done what most people on this site haven't even done. I've played all 3 of the Witcher games. Most of y'all frauds have only played 3. You've only played The Witcher 3. I've played Witcher 1, 2, and 3 multiple times. So I am a CD Projekt Red fan. Y'all are Witcher 3 fans. Big difference. Big fucking difference. So, of course, I'd want to take this company to task because I love a lot of the things that CD Projekt Red has done over the years. Their stances on things, that stuff is great. But at the end of the day, this company puts out a product and expects me to buy it. All my love for the company, that shit goes out the window because at that point it becomes a business transaction. I pay you $60, $65, however much it is with tax. You give me an experience. And if you're telling me that I am not privileged enough to see what that footage is running on somebody's review, if you are telling me that I have to wait and expect all of these things, if you're telling me all these things, bro, again, this game was supposed to come out in May. In May. It's been delayed several times. I don't know. And then not even talking about the crunch factor that's there. it just seems to me like CD Projekt Red bit off more than they can chew. I'm sure it'll probably be a great game after all the patches and the updates. But we have to call this stuff out. Just like people took Naughty Dog to task, which rightfully so they should have. Because Naughty Dog was on some fuck shit when it came down to striking down videos over The Last of Us Part 2. Yes, they were taking down videos that had footage of the game before it came out. But they were also striking down people who were just talking about the controversy. They weren't even mentioning spoilers, and their video got taken down. That is definitely something to hold against Naughty Dog. But y'all had all this energy for Naughty Dog in The Last of Us Part 2, and yet when CD Projekt Red is doing some similar shit, some shady shit, y'all just over here saying, well, listen, no game can be perfect. Y'all expectations are too high. Like, calm the fuck on. Now, either it's all okay or it's not okay. The second y'all start making exceptions for these companies. And remember, I am a CD Projekt Red fan. I've played all their games. Y'all motherfuckers haven't. So, for me to take them to task when all of y'all have only played one of their games, I don't know, man. Maybe that yellow chair is too powerful. Who knows? But yeah, that's all I got to say as far as Cyberpunk is concerned. I will be getting the game day one because I'm looking forward to it. And if the game slaps and it's awesome, I will talk about it. And if the game is kind of underwhelming and disappointment, I will talk about it. You know, there ain't no... I didn't get sent no free chair. I didn't get sent no care package. I didn't get sent none of that shit. Like I keep it real about the Xbox Series X, I'm going to keep it real about Cyberpunk. I don't sacrifice my authenticity just to get in the good graces of companies. And you know what the funny thing is? The funny thing is about this whole situation, Microsoft has watched all of my videos where I've critiqued the Series X. I'm not at liberty to say, but I've gotten messages from people high up saying, thank you for your honest feedback about things. I saw your recent live stream talking about the launch of the Series X and how it is kind of sparse. Thank you for that. These companies are listening. And if they are a genuine company, they aren't going to blacklist you because you level criticism. So all y'all people in the yellow chairs, calm the fuck down. Never make a game the hill you gonna die on. Never do that. If Atlas starts doing some fuck shit for Persona 6, guess who's going to be there day one to complain about that stuff? Guess who's going to be there? But yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Do you keep it real and critique the PS5? Yes, I do. And I talked about that in my recent streams. Like, I'm not loyal to any of these companies. It doesn't matter if I'm on these companies' payrolls, if they send me care packages every month. I keep it real. You want to know why? Because a lot of y'all watching, y'all value my opinion. And the last thing I want is to come on here and be like one of those Nintendo shills who they won't say anything bad about Nintendo or the Switch because they don't want to lose access. I don't give a fuck if I lose access with a company. I'm still going to go out there and buy the game if it's interesting to me. I don't know, man. These new age YouTubers, they fucking weird as shit, bro. They fucking weird as shit. What's that yellow light over there? Oh yeah, that's Cyberpunk light. Okay, but yeah, back to some questions, y'all. And like I said, don't spam any questions. Don't spam. Do not at me if you are asking the same question multiple times. That is not going to get me to answer the question sooner. And I'm not saying this as an asshole because you guys know me. I got love for everybody, but also realize there's a lot of other people here watching the stream. That's not me being arrogant. It's just, come on now. Come on. All right. What's going on, Jamil? Shout out to Game Inspection. Yo, this man, Jamil's my man. He knows that, but he is one of the funniest dudes because he said, what did you say recently on that post, Jamil? What did you say? Okay, so I posted, there was this article about the new Hogwarts Legacy game. And it was like this dope ass feature, right? And I was like, yo, if this feature is actually working as intended, this shit might slap. And then Jamil came in my comments in all caps. He says, wow, I can't wait to pirate this game. I was crying. Honestly, that Hogwarts Legacy game, that's the only game I can see people pirating. Because J.K. Rowling. Okay. All right. So back to the questions, you guys. Like I said, I'm working my way down. Yeah, shout out to Nier Automata. Y'all got to go ahead and do that. Especially y'all people on Xbox. People always ask me, why are you so hard on the Xbox people? I'm hard on the Xbox people because a lot of them be like, yo, I want Japanese games. And here's Nier Automata on Game Pass. Here's the Kingdom Hearts series, all of them on Game Pass. Here's a couple of Yakuza games. And they just like, nah, man, I'm good. That's why I'm so hard. Pause. Am I hard right now? No, I'm not. I am not. Let's see. What do you think about the rumors of Microsoft acquiring Kojima Productions and announcing at the Game Awards? Oh, no, they are not going to do that. Okay, so for those asking what studio should I think Microsoft, what do I think they should buy next? I don't think Microsoft needs to buy any studios right now. I think they just spent a lot of money on Bethesda. And right now, what they need to be focusing on, instead of acquiring studios, is cultivating experiences that we are going to see in the next year or two. That's all we need right now for the Series X. We don't need any acquisitions and then games that are coming 5 years down the road. We need games coming out within the next year or two. Because while the Series X is an amazing console, it really is. I'm going to go so far as to say, I like using my Series X as a console more than I do the PlayStation 5. That being said, all I'm playing on this console is just old-ass games. Old-ass games that run great, run smooth, and they quick. But I want some new experiences I can only get in the Xbox ecosystem. I know they're coming down the road, you guys. I know. But still, that's 2 years out. 2 years is a long time. 2 years ago, Neo was still making anti-Xbox videos, according to people. 2 years is a long time, you guys. We need this shit now. Okay. Hey Neo, which D-pad do you prefer? The metal traditional cross D-pad on the Elite V2 or the Series X hybrid D-pad? Honestly, I gotta say, I don't mind either. I think this is actually one of the better D-pads included in a default Xbox controller. But I do like the metal one on the Elite V2. The Elite V2 is still in my rotation, y'all. I love this shit. I personally think this is the best pack-in Xbox controller, but there's something about that Elite V2. Ooh, when they do an Elite V3, whoo, I'm about to be there day one if that shit fire. But I prefer the Elite V2 for the most part. Okay, see, I'm seeing some people over here saying, yeah, I'm playing it on Game Pass right now. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the game. Shout out to Game Pass in general. But shout out to the Game Pass gamers who play the Japanese games. They don't talk the talk. They walk the walk. Let's see. Do you think the Series X D-pad will be good for fighting games? No. Xbox D-pads in general are not good for fighting games. Let's see. Yo, yeah, exactly, Gabe. That first Witcher game was rough as fuck, bro. That first Witcher game, I remember I played it. This is well before the days of me being on Steam, but my dad had a computer back then that was decent enough to run a video game. And I remember playing that. I think it was like 2009. It was 2009, 2010, a year before I got my gaming PC. And I remember playing that shit. It was, that shit was rough, bro. And I tried replaying it on Steam. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go back and play The Witcher again. That shit did not age well at all. The crazy thing is, they were actually working on a console port of the very first Witcher game. Then that shit got canceled, man. Let's see. Does Vita Remote Play work on PS5? I haven't checked that, but I assume it doesn't. You can do PS5 Remote Play on your PS4, though, for whatever reason. If The Last of Us 2 wins the main awards at the Game Awards, will the credibility of the video games industry moving forward look bleak? Okay, so here's the topic about The Last of Us Part 2. I know everybody wants to know my opinion on the whole review situation and the award situation. Here's the thing, right? First things first. When it comes down to these award shows, I'm not singling out the Game Awards. I got love for Jeff Keighley. Any award show in general, if you are sitting there and weighing your whole opinion and perception about that particular game based off of an award show, you do not... I'm trying to be nice. But you ain't about this gaming shit at all. If you're coming in here and you're just saying, man, if The Last of Us wins Game of the Year, I'm fucking done. Every fucking gamer has come on here and said they are done with these Game Awards shows. Not you specifically, Muhammad, not you. But every single person has come on here and said every single year, these award shows suck. They're biased. They're terrible. Yet every single year, y'all got the same energy to complain about these award shows. Like, either it's all okay or it's not okay. So in the case of Last of Us Part 2, right? I played the game. I actually really enjoyed the game. You know, it's not perfect. No game is. but it's a damn good game. And unlike a lot of the frauds out there, they ain't even play the game. They watched YouTubers play the game and they form their own opinions and they think that's the same shit, which is not. So if The Last of Us 2 wins at this Game Awards show, fine. I don't care. It's not biased. It's not a conspiracy. Y'all already claim that there is no credibility in the gaming industry anyways. So if it ended up winning, why the fuck are you complaining about credibility in the games industry? You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all have the same energy for the Oscars, for the Grammys, and all this shit. Yes, it's nice that the thing that we like won. Cool. But if it didn't win, whatever. Who the fuck cares, man? Some of the best movies of all time didn't win any awards the years they came out. And they get revered for 50 plus years versus some movies that won all the awards. Like, y'all play reviews more than you play video games. Maybe that's why a lot of y'all hide your trophies and achievements. Maybe. But yeah, I don't care if The Last of Us 2 Part wins. Last of Us 2 Part wins. Last of Us Part 2 wins. I don't care if Hades wins. I don't care if Ghost of Tsushima wins. I don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, my own personal opinion, my perception of the game is all that matters. Halo Infinite could come out and win Game of the Year. Amazing, awesome, cool. That's not going to change my opinion on the game. For all we know, I might think that Halo Infinite sucks, and that's fine. That's okay. But at least I played the game, and I went about my life. So all these people out there who are hacking the Game Awards to lower the amount of votes for Last of Us Part 2 and all this dumb shit, it's like, are you serious? You are hacking a Player's Choice Award. Think about that shit for a second. These are something that the gamers do. That's not influenced by the media or the panel. This is something that we contribute to. And you're hacking that shit just so The Last of Us Part 2 won't win? I'm sorry, it doesn't matter if it's The Last of Us Part 2 or any other game. That's just fucking pathetic. Like, y'all really don't have anything better to do. Again, these people, they play console wars instead of playing actual games. That shit, nah. I don't do that. And you guys know I don't got the energy for that. So I don't care if it wins. Like the late, great Chadwick Boseman once said, I don't care. And that's fine. That's fine, man. So if it wins, oh, okay. I'll say this. I do care. If The Last of Us Part 2 does end up winning, the salt is going to be so beautiful on YouTube. Oh my God. All the sensationalist YouTube channels, you know, it's shitting on Naughty Dog left and right. You know, all these neckbeard weirdos. Oh, they going to be so angry. And Brie Larson, my Brie Larson, she's going to be announcing stuff there. Oh, it's going to be beautiful, man. Honestly, like, I've grown to love The Last of Us Part 2 more just because I love defending Naughty Dog against these basement-dwelling, neck-bearded virgins online who can't get any pussy at all. Like, I love doing that shit as a pastime of mine. It's so cool. But yeah, shout out to Neil Druckmann for becoming the co-president of Naughty Dog. Yeah. Like I said, you guys, like, I'm all happy. I'm all, you know, positive vibes, this, that, and the third, genuineness, but I can also keep it real. And sometimes you gotta be like that. When was the last time you played your Switch? I don't remember the last time you talked about your Switch. Last time I talked about my Switch in a video was, I think, when Xenoblade Chronicles came out. So it was well over 6 months ago. Yeah, I mean, that's indicative, man. I haven't been doing a lot of gaming on the Switch because, well, there hasn't been a lot of new games to play. I mean, this has probably been one of the worst years for the Switch in a while, man. It's been rough. It's been rough. I mean, we had Animal Crossing, but there's only so much Animal Crossing you could play. And then I went through Xenoblade Chronicles for a little bit, but that game, that shit, we need a Switch Pro. That's all I'm gonna say. God bless everybody. And in general, I'm not that big a fan of Mario to buy overpriced remasters. They're not even remasters; they're straight ports. And yeah, I mean, yeah, they have No More Heroes on there. I was dabbling a bit in that. That's cool, but again, those are old ass games. You know, it's not like they're running at 4K 60. So it's just been a rough year for the Switch. And if there ain't anything to play on the Switch, I ain't playing the Switch. What the fuck? Oh, that's a lemon seed. I was wondering, I was like, how the hell is this in my water? Have you seen Paranoia Agent? Yes, I have. You said it confused you, bro? Yeah, it tends to do that. It's definitely a show I had to watch twice to get the full understanding. Great show, though. Great show. Nintendo's been getting roasted lately. As they should, man. As they should. They've been doing some scumbag shit, bro. Like I said, people on this site got a, not this site, but on the internet in general, they got a different energy for Nintendo. I'm telling you, let Microsoft or Sony cancel any type of a game tournament on some fuck shit. Oh, people be saying anti-consumer. This is why I play on Nintendo. Like, Nintendo gets away with so much anti-consumer shit, yet their fans give them a pass. Like, Nintendo is being taken to court in the EU over Joy-Con drift. And yet these fans are just like I said, you guys, I speak my mind on everything. I don't care if it burns bridges, if people take this the wrong way. If the boot fits, lace that bitch up. All you fucking Nintendo channels out there trying to be positivity this, positivity that, yet y'all don't ever give Nintendo any type of criticism. That's the reason why they can get away with the shit that they want. Yet at the same time, y'all over here trying to reap the fruits of the labor over stuff that we did. Like Operation Rainfall. Oh, there's a lot of people in the Nintendo community back then who over here, they're like, yeah, Operation Rainfall was a great idea, blah, blah, blah. But back in the day when we were over here petitioning to get these games localized, these motherfuckers were like, why would you want to do that? Why? It's a good year for Nintendo. We have Kirby and Fortune Street for the whole year. Nah, fam. Nah, man. Nah. These motherfuckers want to sit here and hype up Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, yet these people weren't in the trenches with us 10 years ago trying to get the game localized, signing petitions, making videos, reaching out to Nintendo. Like, no, I ain't trying to hear any of these Nintendo dudes at all, man. I ain't, no. And everybody who's been here for the long while, everybody knows this shit is 100% factual. I love the Switch. It's one of my favorite platforms of all time, but I'm also critical as fuck at that little thing. It's just, man, no. Time to do the anime thing. Yay. Well, that's what happens when you have one leg on your glasses. Okay. Let's see. What games do you think will be revealed at the Game Awards? Honestly, I just take the announcements as for what they are. I don't really care. I don't hype myself up for these shows. Because if you don't hype yourself up, that's when you'll really enjoy the show. Or at least you'll tolerate it. Because people get all these expectations like, yo, Microsoft is going to announce like 40 games from their studios. And we're going to see Bloodborne 2 and blah, blah, blah. I would love to see Bloodborne 2. I would love to see 40 games from Xbox. But y'all got to be realistic as fuck about these things. Come on now. None of these Game Awards shows are actually fire. You know what I'm saying? They might have one or two good announcements, but then that's it, man. That's it. So if y'all keep your expectations low for a show that really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, you're going to be aight. Will you be on Unlocked anytime soon? Well, me and Ryan McCaffrey, we're pretty cool, man. He said I'm always welcome to come back on the show, but it comes down to because he produces that show, and when he's producing that show, he's scheduling things weeks out in advance. So again, it comes down to scheduling, clashing, and all that other stuff. But I'm always cool with Ryan. You know what I'm saying? Ryan. One thing I love about Ryan McCaffrey is Ryan McCaffrey. Shout out to you, bro. Especially in this whole year that's been going on of civil unrest. Ryan McCaffrey is the definition of an ally, because Ryan McCaffrey, you know, just to get into a little bit of social politics, in this whole era where you have all these hippy dippy weirdos online saying, yes, I support black people and yada, 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 yet their actions do the complete opposite. Ryan McCaffrey is like, okay, I have this platform. I have this audience. What can I do? What is going to be my legacy? What is my part? Okay, I'm going to highlight black content creators and give them a voice. And that's what Ryan McCaffrey did all summer, getting a lot of black content creators on his show. Great black content creators, not these weirdo token people. Ryan McCaffrey is dope as hell. Like, I've spoken to him on a personal level. He is awesome. And I am forever grateful for the opportunity to be on his show. I was on an IGN podcast. But it goes even more than that. Ryan McCaffrey doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk, which is more than I can say about a lot of people on this internet. You meet a lot of different personalities here, you guys, some good, some bad, but I will always highlight the people who are legit and humble and genuine. So shout out to Ryan McCaffrey. Where is Nugget? He's sleeping in the other room. You think 2021 is going to be a good year for Nintendo? Well, it can't be as bad as this year. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more games then. But who knows? I mean, we're still waiting on Metroid Prime 4. We're still waiting on Bayonetta 3, and those were both revealed like 3 years ago. We're still waiting on a lot of shit, man. Yeah, Colin, you're right. Atlas is doing spooky shit with the Nocturne remake. No, man. Hey, Neo, hope you had a great day. You excited for Cyberpunk? Oh, thank you, Oscar. I hope you had a good day, bro. Yes, I am very much so excited for Cyberpunk. I very much so am. Even though I spent like 10 minutes railing against CD Projekt Red. Y'all talking about Breath of the Wild 2 when a Zelda game just came out. That's not really a Zelda game, though. Breath of the Wild 2, that shit better come out next year. If that thing hit 2022, bro, they better have a Switch Pro at the same time. If they come out in 2022 with a Switch Pro and Breath of the Wild 2, 60 frames per second, yo, that's going to be a day one cop, man. I love the blue Series X controller. Yes, it is fire. My bro, Sean Labrie, who designed my profile picture on social media, the Spider-Man one, he has that blue, and it just looks fire, bro. It looks so cool. I need to cop that myself. Is it cool to ask about relationship advice? Yeah, absolutely, man. You guys can ask me any questions you want. I mean, depending on the length of it, if it's a little too personal, I'll say that I can't answer that because it's a little too personal. But everything is fair game, you guys. If you need any advice about relationships, personal advice, feeling lost in the world, by all means, go for it. Let's see. Can the Avengers game be saved? It could be saved, man, but they got to reboot the entirety of it, man. It's not a good game. It really isn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, people came out here and they was capping hard for that game. Like, oh, the campaign is just so amazing. I love it. Yet the gameplay loop is just so freaking boring, man. It's got no content either. Maybe in a year or two it'll be good, but again, that's a whole commentary on the industry as a whole. Why do we have to wait for these games to get good in a year or 2 years? Like, yes, I understand Destiny's in a great place. Sea of Thieves is a great place. Blah, blah, blah. But look how long it took for those games to get good. I don't have the time to spend $60 on a game, spend money on the updates, and hope to God within 2 years it's going to be a great experience. Like, at that point, I'll just wait. I'll wait for it to go free to play. And I'll just play it at my own pace. So I wouldn't be surprised if that Avengers game eventually goes free to play. I wouldn't be surprised if it either goes free to play or they're going to put it on Game Pass when they've got their shit together. But it's an uphill battle for that, man. I've never seen, well, with the exception of like Battleborn, but I've never seen a very high profile AAA game, something that has the Marvel pedigree attached to it, flop as bad as the Avengers did. What are your opinions on the Nintendo choices lately? I used to be of two mindsets. I used to be the business mindset and I used to be the consumer mindset. With Nintendo, you can't apply that shit at all because it doesn't matter. You still get fucked in the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, they are within their legal right to pull those Joy-Cons that were made in Etika's honor, even though the money is getting donated to charity. They are within their legal right because of copyright. They are within their legal right to not really want to support the tournament scene. They don't have to. I totally get that. I understand it. But think of how much you are damaging your relationship with the community. But you want to know something? That shit don't matter. It doesn't matter whatever Nintendo does that people are just outraged at, like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. That shit does not matter, and I'm going to tell you why. Because y'all people who keep complaining still go buy their games. It just never dawns on these people that if you give this company your money, they think this shit is okay. Guys, listen, Nintendo is not Sony. They are not PlayStation. They aren't Xbox. They don't listen to us. They don't listen to our feedback. They do not care. They legitimately do not care. Unless we literally start organizing and making it get to their doorstep, they won't care. Guys, they launched the Switch without cloud saves. In 2017, you know how long it took to get cloud saves? And even then, you got to pay for the cloud saves. It doesn't have a messaging system. Doesn't have system-level voice chat for parties. It doesn't have a lot of things. Yet people are like, it's okay, it doesn't matter. The amount of times y'all keep saying, it's okay, it doesn't matter, it's okay, it doesn't matter. That's why they keep getting away with this shit. Pokemon, for example. Pokemon Sword and Shield, right? That was like a big controversy. Boycott, Game Freak, yada, 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 right? Everyone was going hard on that. You want to know what happened? Pokemon Sword and Shield ended up being one of the highest grossing Pokemon games of all time, one of the highest grossing Switch games of all time. Your boycotts don't mean shit because some of these same people still went out and bought the game full price. What? Do y'all know what the point of a boycott is? You know what I'm saying? Like, these people don't get this shit. And that's why Nintendo will still get away with what they do. And honestly, kudos to Nintendo. I wish I had a fan base of people that are just so, at this point, I'm going to say it. It's harsh to say, but so mindless drones that they literally, it's like, I'm gonna complain about this, but I'm gonna buy it anyway. And then it's like, if fire burns you, if you're on the stove in the kitchen and you put your hand over the fire and it burns you, why would you put your hand back? Like, people don't understand this shit, bro. People don't get it. Vote with your wallets. As much as a fan of Zelda as I am, if they pull some fuck shit with the anniversary collection and it's another timed thing where it's only available for 6 months, I'm not buying it. I'm not. Because then I'd be contributing to the problem. I would be such a big hypocrite. It just is what it is, you guys. It just is what it is. And you can sit here and say, well, we can still support the games because if we don't buy the games, it's going to hurt the developers and it will close down studios. Why are you putting yourselves in this situation? Why are you It's like, if you know something, like, for example, microtransactions, you know, these games that are becoming less game experiences and more slot machines. These dudes, they got all the energy to say microtransactions are anti-consumer. Yet when it comes to a mediocre Pokemon game in terms of design coming out, instead of applying that same energy, they're like, well, if we don't, we're never going to get another Pokemon game again. I just, that's why I don't deal with Nintendo fans, bro. I'm sorry, Nintendo fanboys. That's it. Because I got no problem if someone wants to come on here and hype up a Pokemon game because they love it. More power to you. I support you in your endeavors. Who I don't support are these freaking weirdos out here. Boycott Game Freak, boycott Game Freak. Did you end up buying Pokemon Sword and Shield? Well, yeah, but they, you know, they had like 40 different excuses, man. Nah. Listen, more power to Nintendo. The Switch is killing it. Pokemon games are charting, and that's fine, man. That's good job. All right, but we got some super chats to go through. I'm sorry I'm so heated right now, man. Y'all asking me the wrong questions tonight. Okay, we got a $4.99 super chat coming through from Asvel Lanta 100. Shout out to you, brother. Speaking of, you see that review bomb for Attack on Titan Season 1, Season 4, Episode 1 on my anime list? No, I haven't, man, because I haven't watched the new episode yet. I was actually going to wait to check it out later tonight. But I know some people were complaining, I think, about the intro, saying it's like not what they expected for the final season. Like I said, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't comment. All I know is my boy Heavenly on Twitter. You guys know him, Heavenly Control. He was just like, yo, that shit ass, bro. And then I look at Afro Senju, and he's like, yo, that shit ass, bro. So it's so funny, man. It was so funny. I was crying. I was like, damn. And then we have a $5 super chat from Game Inspection. Shout out to you, Jamil. Funny thing is, Nintendo didn't have to do it. Valve openly lets fans remake their games, sell those games, and keep the profits, so it's not copyright. Exactly. Dude, I think there is a line that exists between what is copyright infringement and what is just seeing cool shit that fans do. Because I guarantee you, in 10, 20 years' time, we're going to see people take the Spider-Man game, and if Insomniac hasn't already, they're going to make like Spider-Verse mods and do crazy things like that. And that's cool. I'm sure Insomniac will retweet that and be like, oh my God, this is amazing. Whereas Nintendo is like, we'll see you in court. Like I said, man, they're just trying to protect the brand. Oh God, man. But shout out to the super chats. Appreciate you guys. Let's see. That was a good Black Panther impression. Oh, I appreciate that. Do you think Miles Morales Spider-Man should be played on PS5 or would I be okay getting it on PS4? I want the game, but I'm not getting a PS5 for a couple years. All right, so if you ain't getting a PS5 for a couple years, just get the game. It's going to run okay. But when you play that shit on PS5, you put that thing on performance mode, that shit hit different, bro. I'm not even going to lie. That 60 frames per second is so fluid. And I tried going to the 4K quality mode, but that's just 30 frames, man. I ain't doing that. Like, the stream right now is 60 frames for no reason. I'm just sitting here talking to a microphone. I am relaying my voice over bandwidth. But that shit is kind of crispy to watch. Oh, and I just noticed, you guys, we are almost an hour into the stream, and it hasn't crashed yet. Knock on wood. Maybe it was a RAM issue. I don't know. We'll see, you guys. Someone clip Neo saying, I don't care, and send it to Disney so we can cast Neo as Black Panther. Oof. I don't know if I want that kind of well, first off, I'm not dark enough. You know, I'm black, but I'm not like that black, so it would be kind of weird. It'd kind of be like Terrence Howard. It'd be like Terrence Howard, Don Cheadle, but in reverse. That's what it would be. Nah, but if I had to cast somebody as Black Panther right now to replace Chadwick Boseman, I'd probably cast John David Washington. I saw him in Black Klansman. I saw him in Tenet. I was like, there we go. That's the guy. You would give some of the best and most entertaining lectures to your kids. Oh, I appreciate that, Colin. I appreciate that. It'd be interesting once I do become a dad, whenever that is in the next 10 years. Because I do want to have a family. I'm just looking for the right one, you guys. But I'm chilling. I'm minding my business, man. I got out of a 2.5-year toxic relationship, and I am glowing. Worst MCU movie? Honestly, worst MCU movie? All right, it's a toss-up between Thor 2, Iron Man 3, Captain Marvel, just because Captain Marvel is boring as shit. It's not a bad movie. It's just, ugh. But yeah, it's like those three. Like the ones I have no desire to rewatch. To me, that's like the worst. But shout out to everybody coming to the stream. What the? Oh, it's another seed. Damn. Because I drink a lot of lemon water. So when I was juicing the lemons, I guess some of the seeds got in. Let's see. Age of Calamity. I haven't played that yet. I'm actually, honestly, that game looks so dope. It looks really cool, Age of Calamity. But I just look at the performance of that game, and it, nah, fam. I'll wait for that Switch Pro. I will definitely wait for that Switch Pro. I will definitely. Hold on one sec, you guys. Some chick just hit me up. All right, one sec. Oh, shout out to the 120 people watching. Shout out to y'all. I hope I didn't scare anyone away with my ranting. That's a different side y'all haven't seen yet, because I know I got a lot of new people. But like I said, old school subscribers will know how crazy I get on my rants. What the hell is... Yo, Marcus's reaction, he's like, what the hell is Fortune Street? Just got my PS5 yesterday. God is good. Oh, shout out to you, Cuber. That's awesome, man. Because I know this shit been hard as hell for people to cop, man. I'm sorry I'm late. What's with the chat on screen? Yeah, Streamlabs is kind of messing up Pi Studios, so we had to do the old-fashioned way. It's ghetto as fuck, I know. Let's see. Neo, so number one, technically the whole melee thing is an anti-consumer because no one is really watching. Oh, yeah, I can't. Is really because no one is. I don't know. That's weird. Secondly, watch all these people preach Nintendo's gonna regret this. They'll forget that shit once a direct comes out. Facts, Wi-Fi. That's 100% true. Let them come out with a new direct and talk about a new Smash Bros. Character. They're gonna be like, oh, what? I wasn't complaining. What are you talking about? Yeah, that's yep. There's people like that. People like that, man. You are absolutely right. I don't really do wish lists for things I want to see, guys. I know everyone keeps asking about the Game Awards. I don't do wish lists. That way I'm not disappointed. Do you think Nintendo can make a proper 9th generation Switch type console? Well, I just want a Switch Pro, man. I just want a more powerful Switch. If they can give me a Switch that has more graphic options, where you can choose whether you want to prioritize battery or performance, I'd be so down with that, man. I feel like more Switch games need to have those modes. Because if you look at the overclocking community, they were able to get some more performance out of the Switch. Granted, the battery life ended up being only like an hour, but I think they should have that option available. You know, if you want to have the game run smoother, maybe a more consistent frame rate, maybe a higher resolution. It might come at the expense of battery, but you got to figure at the end of the day, the Switch is still a tablet. It's a tablet where you can attach controllers and it can dock onto a TV. And there's only so much you can realistically get out of a device like that. That is also $300. So it's kind of like a get what you paid for sort of product. Let's see. Just a friendly Daniel Pack. Just a friendly reminder to like the stream. Next time won't be so friendly though. Yeah, he's shown up at people's houses telling them to like the videos. I'm not even lying, you guys. He DM'd me and he was just like, yo, I'm at this motherfucker's house. What you want me to do? I was like, relax, homie, relax. Playing through Persona 5 Royal right now. Who's your best girl in that game? So in this playthrough, I haven't figured out who I want to romance yet. I was originally thinking I was going to go for Tay, but I don't know at this point, man. I didn't romance Anne in my Persona 5 playthrough, so I might have to go for Anne this time around. You know, I wasn't gonna go for Makoto, but Makoto's a cop, so I don't. I know she learned the error of her ways. I get that, but I think I might go Anne. I might go Tay, or I might do Kawakami. I don't know. As you can see, I have a type. With the exception of Anne, I have a type. You know what the funny thing is, you guys? Every single woman I've dated has been older than me. That's so strange. Every single one has at least been 1 to 5 years older than me. It's very interesting. I have never dated a girl my age or younger. Is your PlayStation 5 still turning on by itself? Oh, every now and then. Right now, it's actually being pretty quiet. Yeah, shout out to Ocarina of Time. I love that game. What game on PC you been rocking? Well, I haven't really been doing a lot of PC gaming. As you guys know, I'm not a big PC gamer. I have a gaming PC that can run games at like 1440p and shit. But it's just not my preferred way to play games. I am a console kind of guy. It just is what it is, you guys. And that's no dig against PC at all. It's just I like to play my games on my big screen TV sitting down on my bed. I know some people like to play it in a chair. That's fine. But me, myself, and it's just not my whole thing, man. Well, Neo, you can hook your PC up to your TV in your entertainment setup and get a wireless controller. Like, yes, I totally can do that and then move my PC back to my setup. Like, I don't do that shit, man. That's just me. But on PC, I got a few games on here. I'm going to be getting Cyberpunk on PC as well. Because I think that's the only way to really play that game. Okay, so Cup of Water says, I broke up with my girl 2 months ago, but now I feel like I made a mistake and I want to be with her again. But she says it's too late. Should I try to win her back or just accept it and move on? All right, you guys, so we're getting into a personal question right now. So if you have any other questions, hold them for the time being, because we're going to answer this one. So his question, well, it's kind of hard for me to give you a proper answer, Cup of Water, considering I don't know the entire backstory, and I'm not going to ask you about the backstory either, because that would take way too much time. But in this whole situation, you are regretting the breakup. You have to quantify if you are actually missing the relationship, the idea of the relationship, or are you just lonely? Because those are two different things. Because take it from my personal experience, when I broke up with my girl back in July, I after, a couple of weeks, I was thinking, maybe we should work things out. Who knows? And that's not something I can really answer for you. You have to judge it based on your particular scenario. So if y'all broke up over some bullshit and it's worth salvaging, then maybe put a compelling case together and talk to her about it, right? But here's something else a lot of people don't want to realize. If she says it's too late and she's already moved on, you can't be petty. You can't say anything negative against her. You just have to respect her opinion and move on. That's what you have to do. Sorry, but that's just, it is what it is. So what I would recommend in this time, after you figured out whether or not you want to do it, just focus on yourself. Focus on getting to the root of why you broke up with her in the first place. Figure out whether it was actually a problem on her end or it was something that you were dealing with internally, because those are things that need to be addressed. So in my particular situation, I broke up with my girl because it was something that she was doing. It was a consistent pattern, track record that I was not a fan of. So I had to, even though I knew it was going to be tough, I had to make that tough decision and break things off because it was getting to the point where it was affecting my mental being. So in that case, I'm okay with breaking up and moving on just fine. Like I had my little grieving period for a few weeks, and then I was back up in someone's daughter's guts. That's just how it is. So yeah, just take this time to focus on you, reevaluate and reassess the situation. And who knows, maybe you might get back together with her in a few months or in a few years. Like the thing I always try to tell people is, folks always try to put a definitive cap on something and they want to close that chapter in the book, right? You're closing this chapter. You're not closing the entire book. You're done with that chapter, but maybe a few years time, y'all will be different people and you might be able to rekindle that romantic relationship, or you might end up just being really dope friends. And that's perfectly fine too. Like these things can be a thing. So yeah, just do what you do, man. And just get back to me with whatever progress you make in this situation. Were you a fan of Etika? Yeah, I was definitely a fan of Etika. I wasn't as big a fan as a lot of people out there, but I respected him for what he did, what he brought to the community. What I loved about Etika was he was just an unabashed hyped man. He was genuinely excited for the things that he talked about. And it was great seeing somebody like that in an era full of frauds who'd just be hyping up stuff, and yet they don't know it. Okay, to put it in perspective, you guys, when Final Fantasy VII did the Smash Bros. Crossover and Cloud was in the game, there were a lot of people out there who were hyping up like, yo, it's Cloud from Final Fantasy. You ain't never played Final Fantasy before. Like, come on now. Etika is just a genuine hype man. And it was great to see a person who plays games get excited about games. And he was going through some stuff, man. He was definitely going through some stuff in his life. And his processing of things at the time, people were just like, whoa, dude, what are you doing? This isn't a joke if you're trying to make it a prank, man. But it wasn't. It was a cry for help. And it's a very sensitive topic when it comes to Etika. It always just gets me really emotional speaking about it. But if there's one thing I think we can learn from the whole Etika situation, is just to be there for each other. And if somebody is going through stuff, even if it may seem kind of crazy at the time, their antics, just keep an eye out for them. So him passing away, even though I didn't really know the man like that, I just made it a point to always check in on my friends. Even the people who I'm the closest with, and we talk every single day, I just check in with them saying, hey, how you doing? How are you doing? How is this person doing? Not what you got going on in your life, your relationship, what games you play. No, how are you doing and your well-being? That's what I started to do a lot more of. I actually, every single week, I try my very best to send a text message to people I haven't talked to in a while. Just asking them, hey, how you doing? And based on their response, sometimes they'll be like really good. And then in other situations, it might be some dark stuff. And I just try to be there for them. Because Etika was he was a great guy. He was a great guy, but it just goes to show you that just because a person is happy and rambunctious and, such like you walk into a room and you illuminate the place, that doesn't mean that they ain't going through shit too, which is something I think we all need to talk about. Depression does not manifest itself as you being humdrum and lonely. Sometimes depression is literally you just having a great day and then you think about one thing and it just gets you in this mood. And I hate when people say, oh, well, just stop thinking about sad shit. Really, nigga? Like, no. It's deeper than that. There's layers to this shit. So just be there for one another. Be there for each other. Talk to each other about important shit, personal shit, and practice what you preach. If you are a person out there who says, I'm always here, I'm lending an ear to people, yet the second someone starts talking to you about some really personal shit, and you just be like, nah, I don't got the energy for that. No, then stop saying that you have an ear for people to listen. Because the people who are trying to, it takes a lot for folks to reach out to one another. It really does. Me, myself, and I, sometimes I feel bad about asking for help about things. Because especially in the black male community, we are conditioned to pick ourselves up by our bootstraps. Don't ask anybody for help. We are loners. I did this shit all by myself. We have to really dispel that narrative. That has got to go. We need to be there for each other to talk about the important shit. Oh man, I told you, these live streams get really, really emotional. Wow, you gave a great response on the Nintendo controversy. You should make a full-length video on its own. Mindless drones, I'm dead. I might do that at some point. I really might. Might stir the pot. Who knows? Why is NBA 2K21 next gen getting bad reviews? I have no idea. All the footage I've seen of that game looks really good. But maybe it's something else that I'm missing. Hey, just watching your Twitch Red Dead Redemption 2 playthrough, and I thought you were never going to use Twitch that much. I'll be checking out the channel more often. Have a schedule for streams yet? No, I don't have a schedule yet, but I think by the end of this week, I will have something. Because while I love doing the Ask Neos in the evening time, a lot of you guys do live in other countries around the world, so you don't have the opportunity to catch these live. So I think what I'm going to do with Twitch is I'm going to create a schedule where I'll have some live streams at different times throughout the day, so it makes it fair for everybody. And yeah, if you guys are interested, I do have a Twitch channel. I will, Gabe, if you're there, can you post my Twitch channel? And you guys can just give me a follow. I'm going to be hitting affiliate status by the end of the week, so that's going to be very exciting. Let's see. That's so Shut Up Gabe just posted it right now, you guys. Twitch.tv/NGS the streamer. That is my Twitch page. All right. Hold on. You said check Twitter real quick? What's going on Twitter? Oh, no. Oh, no. He tagged me in something. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. What did you... No. Come on. Is that what I think it is? Oh, come on, man. I hadn't played that game in like 6 months. Why you gonna do me to me like that? We have a $1.99 super chat from the homie Asbel. I kind of like the opening. It fits the arc's tone, which is what I kind of pictured would happen given what I've heard about the last 2 years of Attack on Titan's manga. People saying this shit is like, whoa, heavy. All right. Oh, so I'm catching up. It's like, oh, we hit 69 likes. Nice. But yo, shout out to everybody watching. I don't even have the counter up showing the view count or whatever. But shout out to the 102 people watching. We've got 77 likes. If y'all are enjoying the stream, hit that like button. Helps out the channel tremendously. Damn, IGN Cyberpunk review is already at 2 million views, and it's only been out for like 9 hours. Shout out. Let's see. Neo, because I'm scrolling around all over the place right now. 2 shows a day. Yeah, it's a 2 doche. Hey, take it easy, Daniel Pack. You have a good night, man, and have a good work shift, brother. Neo, what's your favorite Nicktoon? My favorite Nicktoon of all time? Oh, man. Early SpongeBob, early Fairly Odd Parents, and Rugrats. It's a 3-way tie between those. I would throw Hey Arnold in that one, because that show got really emotional and really deep. But for me, it's like, when I think of my cartoons growing up, I think of the stuff that's really funny more than the heavy hitter stuff. But yeah, so it would definitely be... I don't even count Avatar as a Nicktoon. I think that's just its own beast, you guys. When I count Nicktoons, I'm thinking about the stuff that's, like, looking at is genuinely targeted towards kids. Avatar is a little different. But if it's a Nicktoon, I guess Avatar: The Last Airbender would be my favorite Nicktoon. But yeah, shout out to Daniel Pack, y'all. When are you going to do that Dragon Ball podcast, and will you let that Danny loser be a part of it? Yo, shout out to you, Shadow Wolf. But yeah, we trying to do this Dragon Ball podcast before the end of the year. We tried to bring back NXP on Saturday. That shit wasn't working. But yeah, we definitely going to get this Dragon Ball podcast. This man, Danny, he's getting his outline ready. He's like, oh, we're going to hit on this point. We're going to roast those fanboys on that. He's having some fun. But we trying to do this shit before the end of the year. When are you going to do another Young Neo reacts? I might react to the oldest video I have on my YouTube channel, which coincidentally is not the first video I've ever made on YouTube, because y'all know I had 2 whole channels before this. So I might do that. Oh, Jesus Christ. I might do that, because I did one 5 years ago for the first time I ever talked about Kingdom Hearts 3. So it'll be interesting. Is it considered cute if a close lady friend of mine calls me Baka sometimes? I personally find it adorable when she calls me that. Hey man, listen. All I can really say in this situation is, if she calls you baka and it's like cute and you find it cute, then let it rock, man. You know what I'm saying? Let it rock. No harm, no foul. Let's see. Do you put your PS5 into rest mode with reports of the problems? Yeah, I did. I always put my PS5 into rest mode. It's in rest mode right now, and I haven't come across any issues. It hasn't crashed. It hasn't done anything. So I'm definitely tempting fate. I'm tempting fate all day, every day when I do that. But so far, so good. My PS5, it's been smooth experience, man. Same thing for my Xbox. Smooth experience, man. So someone's looking out for me. Hey, it's Mr. Platnik. What's up, man? He says, 4 hearts. My man. So cold where I am, but you're providing me with such warmth. Just the sight of you. Sigh, heart faces. Yo, every single stream, Mr. Platnik comes here with this admiration, affectionate comment. It's dope. You gotta write some like hymns and shit, man. I appreciate that, man. Hope you're doing well. Alrighty. Did anyone play the Avatar DS game? Wait, the Avatar Last Airbender DS game? Or we talk about like the Avatar Blue People movie? Because I know they had an Avatar Blue People movie game, and that shit was garbage. Yeah, but Rocket Power was a good show. Who just hit me up? Oh, someone's... Okay. What about your podcast on Spotify? Oh, it's funny you mentioned that because I actually just recorded another episode of that. I know a lot of people are wondering, what happened to your Spotify podcast? I listened to that and I was waiting for the next episode. Yo, going back to work happened, went back to work right when that shit started, and it was just adjusting to things in addition to, Microsoft sending me the Xbox Series X around that time. So I was like, oh shit. So it got put to the back burner, but it is coming back strong this Friday with a brand new episode. So yes, it is returning, you guys. It's coming back. Okay. Oh God, but I hope y'all are doing well. I hope y'all are having a good day. Have you seen the video of Logan Paul having peanut butter thrown at his head? No, I haven't. What are your thoughts on the See the Thing is podcast on video games? I haven't seen that before. You might have to catch me up to speed. Me and my girlfriend always work things out. It made our relationship stronger this year with COVID-19 and me drinking a lot. And that's what it is, Chris. I mean, shout out to you and your girl, man. I know, because we've talked, we've communicated back and forth. It was a very rough year for you two. But, if the relationship is worth salvaging and fighting through, then by all means, go ahead and do that. Also realize there are some situations where, in my case, I just had to walk away completely because it was literally causing me mental anguish. And I can't have that, Why did you break up? Don't mind me if you don't mind me asking. Oh, so the reason why I broke up with my ex-girlfriend of almost 2.5 years is because of her insecurities driving a major wedge in the relationship. Her insecurities started very early on in the relationship, but I didn't really care back then because, you don't want to bring down the relationship vibes. I don't care what somebody's been through in their life. I care about the person you are today and who you're becoming. And I think that it's very beautiful if you've gone through shit and you can rise above that. I think that's such an amazing story to tell. However, she just never got over all of those demons. And, I went through this a lot back and forth with me and my mom because my mom was trying to warn me saying, listen, I know this. I've dealt with this before in my life with your father. There are some people out there who it doesn't matter how many times you were there to help them. This is a battle you can't fight. They have to fight this themselves. And that was the harsh dose of reality I had to realize as a person because I tried to be there constantly to help her fight through these problems. And on some level, you have to realize you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink from it. And it's not heartless to think that because I was literally being dragged down by this person and their insecurities. And I'm no saint in the relationship. I've definitely had my fair share of issues. Basically, early on, I didn't really communicate whenever I was having a problem with something she did that well. So I let it bottle up until I blew up in her face. But that's the extent of it. I never imbued any of the problems in my personal life onto her. I never involved her into any of that stuff. Because I thought that's what you do in a relationship. You don't bog down people with your baggage. But I kept getting bogged down constantly because of that stuff. Man, it got so wild, guys. This is really going to shock you guys. I got accused of sleeping with my manager by her. I got accused of like so many different things. Yes, me, you guys, me, the child of God who is always about his word. His word is his bond. I got accused of cheating. Yeah, totally. She showed up at my job at one point. Yo, it was wild. I really should have looked at the warning signs beforehand, but I tried to work through shit. I tried to work through shit for love. And I mean, yeah, that is kind of an L on my part. But hey, it's a learning experience, man. It is a learning experience. And some of you people here in the chat, you've known about this shit for years. But yeah, it was a learning experience that sometimes you're not a bad person because you walk away for a situation. You are not a bad person because you walk out of a toxic relationship. You are not. And don't let anyone try to guilt trip you. She was really big on guilt tripping. Really fucking big on guilt tripping. Really big on guilt tripping. And I just had to remove myself from that situation. And I did that shit cold turkey, you guys. I hit her up, and normally, because I don't break up over text, I don't do that shit. I like to do it in person. But there was one shit that happened. It was one lie that just went too far. And I said, listen, this is done. Over. Goodbye. And I was like, yep, that's it. We actually talked about the Cyberpunk news, Wavy Gemini. We talked about it a few minutes back. Yo, Chris, we need to do that podcast on the future of Persona. Yes, we definitely do, Jamil. We have to talk about Persona because I think we can talk about Persona like a lot of these bigger YouTubers can't, because a lot of these bigger YouTubers have only played 5 and 4, which are great games. But, you know, me and Jamil, we've played 5, 4, multiple versions of 3, 2. I have to finish 1. I'm halfway through 1. I just can't. It's too old for me. And there's a lot of things I would love to see in Persona 6. Like, just to segue for a little bit, if Persona 6 comes out and it's in high school again, I am fucking sighing my brains out. I want the next Persona game to be adults, or at least put them in college or whatever you got to do. I do not want to play another Persona game when they're in high school again. It's just been there, done that, bro. Or at least if you're going to put it in high school, like, do something dip, man. Let me not get into that. But Jamil knows what I'm talking about. Jamil knows exactly what I'm talking about. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. It'd just be a cool dynamic if they all work in the same company. Like, you all work in the same company and you can deal with shit that adults go through that kids can't relate to. But yeah, I got lucky, hooked up with a good, sane Christian woman. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up, Danny. Yo, shout out to this man, Danny. So, full disclosure, I've known Danny for almost 12 years now. It's actually insane. And he's been with the same woman for that exact, well, not that exact amount of time, but I think like, 11 years, Danny? Something like that. Yo, him and his girl, man, it's just a beautiful sight to see, bro. That's what I love. I see people older than me in these beautiful relationships, and that gives me hope for the future. I love that stuff. Even Danny's like, yo, just put him in college, please. Oh. I'm actually interested in hopping into Persona. Just the 100 hours scares me. Oh, trust me, man. Listen, it's a long game. It is. But what Persona does is it takes you along for the ride, man. The development for the characters, these characters are just so well written. They're so three-dimensional. And even the ones that are tropey, they're so great that you don't even view the tropes. Like, that's not the first thing you think of. And listen, that 100 hours, that shit flies by, man. Trust me. Every single person here who's played Persona 5, and they would look at their playtime at the end, they're just like, wow, I just blew 150 hours and it didn't feel like it. It's just so good. Because the writing is great. The voice acting is phenomenal. Oh, man. When will you make a review on The Last of Us Part 2? I was going to make a review talking about it, but I think I'll wait for them to do like a PS5 Pro patch. A PS5 patch, because I want to play it at 60 frames. Again. Are you a Vanillaware fan at all, Neo? Games like Odin Sphere, Dragon's Crown, and 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. Oh, Frederick, how you doing, man? Long time no see, bro. So, I guess you can call me a Vanillaware fan. I mean, I've played Dragon's Crown before. Love that shit. And correct me if I'm wrong. I might be out there. I don't really know my Japanese studios as much as I should. But did Vanillaware work on Muramasa the Demon Birth? Did they work on that game? I want to say they did that because I played that on the Wii and the Vita. And I loved it. So if so, I guess you could say I'm a fan of theirs. They did? Okay, I'm a fan of theirs then because I love that game to death. So, you know what the funny thing, you mentioned that 13 Sentinels game, and all the Japanese game fans are out here like, oh my God, somebody talked about it. Yes. I have seen that game on my Twitter feed at least 4 to 5 times a week, whether it's on sale or people talking about it. I think that might be the next, like, dark hole that I dive into. I think it might be, because everybody is saying that, everyone is saying more Masa the Demon Blade. What did I say? The Demon Birth? I'm thinking of another game then, something with a birth in the title. But that game, I hear everybody talking about 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, or Aegis Rim, whatever it's called. Everyone's talking about it. My boy Dakota, who I take his opinion very highly when it comes to Japanese games. Like, he plays even more than I do. He plays everything. I don't even know how he has the time to do this shit. But he says, yo, this is like near Automata levels of storytelling for me. It's going down as one of my favorite games of the generation. I said, really? And then everyone in that thread was like, same, bruh. I'm like, really? I might have to check this game out then. Because everyone is like, yo, this game. Even the people, like, folks in the media, you know, they all play just big games. They're like, yo, that 13 Sentinels, though. I'm like, really? So I might have to go check this out. Because if even the casual plebs say that game is hot stuff, and the hardcore people say that game is hot stuff, it might have to be a cop, you guys. It might have to be a cop. Oh, and then Frederick says 13 Sentinels is fantastic. Okay, so after I finish Persona 5 Royal, I'm going to go ahead and buy that game. And I want to see what the hype is up. What's up, Qmon2? Hey, shout out to the OG name in the chat. Yes. So that's going to be the next game I pick up from them. Oh, yeah. Yoko Taro praised it too in like his games that he played of that year. I think Yoko Taro, and then was it Kojima? Neo, it's one of Joe Budden's podcasts, all girls, and they gave a girl's perspective. It wasn't good. Oh, I might have seen clips of that then, Randy. I might have seen clips of that floating around. I might have seen that. Let's see. Sakurai. It was Sakurai. Sakurai said it. I knew it was another prominent Japanese developer. Let's see. Neo, what happened earlier? You were talking about a girl. Yeah, somebody asked me how me and my ex split up, and I was just giving them a little bit of the story. Because like I said, we jump from all types of topics around here. And guys, we are almost an hour and a half in the stream. It hasn't crashed. Oh, everybody just give OBS a round of applause right now. We love to see it. We love to see a program working. Let's see. Any thoughts on Code Geass's 10-year plan? So I have no idea as far as the plan is. Oh, my mom just blessed me with some fried chicken, y'all. Oh shit! Fried chicken wings. Thank you. Shout out to Mama Neo. Okay, so this stream could go one of two ways. Either we can continue talking, or it's gonna get really messy. Cause y'all know. Listen, it's just man, unapologetically black. You just don't be thinking. You be like, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the moms. Shout out to the moms. Bring Mama Neo on stream. Nah, my mom is vehemently against being on social media. Yo, she doesn't even let me post photos of her, like for her birthday of us together. My mom is not that type of person at all, you guys. But she supports me in my YouTube endeavors, which is all I can really care about. And she also gives me food. You know, the crazy thing is, I had 10 of those fried chicken wings like 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. That shit slapped. Man. No, I'm good. Can you cook, Chris? Oh, yeah. Listen, anybody who's in this workout game, they got to know at least how to cook a few dishes. Yo, man, seriously. Shout out to fried chicken in general, man. If you haven't played Odin Sphere, play the re-release being Odin Sphere Liefether when you have the time. I've seen that. It's been on my list, man. It's been on my list, but there's a lot of games out there. There's a lot of games. So any thoughts on the Code Geass 10-year plan? I have no idea. What are they doing with the Code Geass? What's happening? What's happening with it? Are they putting like a new anime, new novel, new video game? Like, what's happening? What's your opinion on Trails of Cold Steel? Okay. So this is another franchise that I think once I play through all the games, I'm gonna be pimping it out like I do Persona and not Dragon Quest, technically Dragon Quest, but Persona and Yakuza, because Gabe knows I can make some mean chicken. Gabe knows that, and Colin, I'll get your question in a second, bro. But Trails of Cold Steel, it was like one of those series I always saw people talking about, you know, and it was a game that they went out of their way to buy physical copies for, which I thought was interesting. Because, you know, people only really do that when it comes to like indie games or Japanese games. So I always saw people talking about this shit. And then my homie Black Bond, shout out to the Suburban Savage, he was just like, yo, you got to play this game. And I was like, what game? He says Legend of Heroes. And I was like, I think I heard of that before, right? So for those who don't know, Legend of Heroes as a franchise, at least the modern interpretation of it, started back in like 2010 on the PSP, right? And since then, they've been building up this Avengers Infinity War Endgame type of story through all of their games. Like, I'm not even joking to you guys. The best way Dakota described it to me was, he's like, okay, so you watch the Marvel movies, right? And I was like, yeah. You know how they're building up towards Thanos and all these phases? I said, yeah. Okay, just think of that, but in a video game, and it's not limited by a 2-hour runtime of movies that come out only a couple of years. And I was like, okay, but what's the level of storytelling like? Nigga, take Persona and then just explode that shit into a 10-year arc. And I was like, are you fucking serious? And the way he was describing, he was like, yo, the story is out of this world. The characters are amazing. But here's the problem. Like, the lore and everything, the world building is amazing. It's just so hard to play all of these games because if you don't have multiple platforms, then you're really shit out of luck. So right now, the best way to play it is on PC because you have a lot of the older games, right, that they ported to PC. And then, unfortunately, there are a few games that never got localized. So you have to play fan patches, fan translations, right? The bigger games that people talk about nowadays is Trails of Cold Steel. Technically speaking, Trails of Cold Steel, if you wanted to line it up, that's phase 3 of the MCU. Granted, you can still play the game and enjoy it for what it is, but there are so many characters and lore, world building stuff that's included and stuff that happens from the older series. Like, it's absolutely insane, you guys. Like, if I had the time to sit down and play all of these games consecutively, I think it might go down as like my favorite universe just based off of that world building and the lore. But man, it's a commitment. It's a commitment. They're all Japanese RPGs. I mean, that ain't nothing to Asbel on over here. This man playing JRPGs like they water. But yo, and it's crazy because every single person I've talked to this isn't even like Kingdom Hearts. Nah, Narukami. This ain't like Kingdom Hearts at all. I mean, technically, if you want to talk about platforms, but really, if you have a PC, you can play all the games. But the story everyone is saying is it's so freaking good. Take it easy, Danny. It's so freaking good, and it's building up to this point. And I want to experience that. But yeah, I bought Trails of Cold Steel 1. I played like 25 hours. I really enjoyed it. And then Black Bond, this is why I hate Black Bond's my homie. Shout out to Black Bond. I talk to him every day. But this man was like, yo, play this game. I was like, all right, cool. I get 25 hours. And he's like, no, stop what you're doing right now and go play the older games. But you just said, you know what? That type of shtick. Because at the same time, he was playing the games too. He was a lot further than me. And he's like, no. You need to go back and play it from the beginning. And then Asbel was just like, bro, here's $50. Buy all the games on Steam. I don't care if you play it 10 years from now. Just play it and get back to me, which I will do at some point for Asbel. Play all these games and talk to him about it so we can geek out. Meanwhile, Asbel's going to be 50 on his 5th kid like, yes, my son Neo has finally finished Trails. But back onto Colin's question. What gameplay improvements would you want to see in Persona 6? Well, honestly, I'm pretty conservative when it comes down to gameplay improvements. I think they've got it down pat with Persona 5 Royal. There are some things design-wise I think they could change in like the overworld. So things as far as navigation is concerned, they can streamline it, make it a little bit more palpable. But other than that, I think they found their rhythm. They found their rhythm, and I'm excited to see what they do for the next game. If it's going to be more of the same, or it's going to be a drastic leap forward. Christy, you and the food need to be alone for a minute. Hey, listen, man, I'm telling you, you could put a lot of food in front of black people, but you put fried chicken in front of black people, good fried chicken in front of black people, homemade fried chicken in front of black people. That shit hit different, y'all. Yeah, the Cold Steel games. The Cold Steel games, I own 1 and 2 on the PS4, but I'm probably gonna go out there and buy the physical copies just to support it and have it on my shelf. Let's see. Also, Chris, did you know Cyberpunk has a budget of 300 million? The game needs to sell 5 million to break even. Oh, yeah, it's an expensive game. I mean, just the nature of it, the amount of people they have working on it, and they got a lot of incentives from the Polish government too. But yeah, 5 million, yeah, that game's gonna sell that. No worries there. But damn, 300 million though? Guys, you know how much 300 million is? That's like an Avengers movie. That's more than a Star Wars movie, guys. Jesus. Yeah, so if you want to play all the Legend of Heroes games, guys, you got to play them on PC. You got to play them on PC. Because PlayStation, while it has the Cold Steel games, and the Switch just got Cold Steel 3, and it's getting Cold Steel 4, the PC has everything you need if you want to get the full experience. I don't really have any predictions for the Game Awards, you guys. I'm just going to enjoy it for what it is as far as announcements. What element bending did you like the most in Avatar? Honestly, so I loved airbending because I love the idea of just being able to channel the air around you and uplift yourself. So I could fly places. I could do things like that. That's really cool. But if I had to be real, I loved firebending. I just love firebending, and then how you could go and do lightning bending. That shit was so cool, you guys. I loved it. What about you guys? What if you could be in the world of Avatar, or I should rephrase that. If you had the powers of the Avatar cast, what elemental bender would you be? Me, myself, and I would probably be fire. Either fire or air. But then again, water bending means you could blood bend, and that's very sadistic. Nah, still that bloodbender episode of Avatar, that shit still fucks me up, you guys. Do you remember the end of that episode? Where, like, even though they beat that old woman, she was just like, congratulations, Katara. You're a bloodbender now. Like, that was there was no happy ending for that episode. That episode was fucked. Like, I remember watching that shit as a kid, and I was like, is it okay to watch this? Mind you, I watch Yu Hakusho where Yusuke beats up everybody. It doesn't matter what's between your legs. I'm seeing a lot of water bending. Okay. Yeah, water bending I think would be the most beneficial in terms of we come in contact with so much water nowadays. Hey, sounds good, Corey Gryffindor. Neil, what sports do you like, and do you like football as in soccer? So me, myself, and I don't really follow sports as much as I used to as a teenager. Every now and then, if a team I like is playing, I'll go ahead and watch it. I mean, I watch basketball games. I watch football. I don't really watch, well, I should say I watch American football. I don't really watch soccer like that. But all of my coworkers in every job I've been, they can't get enough of that shit. Cause I think it has a universal global appeal more than, American football or basketball. So yeah, I mean, every now and then, you know, if Green Bay is playing, I'll watch that. You know, if the Lakers are on, Spurs, you know, shit like that. But yeah, I don't really like. For me, I always gravitated towards Wisconsin because growing up, I always watched Bucks games. I watched Bulls games. As I grew older, I really liked Green Bay, and I still like Green Bay nowadays. It's interesting seeing what they're doing. But yeah, I'm not really big into that stuff. I know everyone's like, "Oh, you're from New York. Does that mean you watch the Knicks and the Nets and the Jets?" No, New York sports teams are fucking sorry, bro. They are nah, fam. There's a reason why these Jets tickets was like $6 at one point, man. Hey, Wisconsin, yeah. New York sports teams, with the exception of the Giants every now and then, you know, they just nah, fam. But yeah, let me go ahead and can you read your Player Productions? Can you send your question again? I just hope the rumors are fake about the live-action Avatar series being TVMA, where they wanted to age up the characters for sex scenes and graphic violence. Oh, yeah, I did hear about that, Frederick. I did hear about that. And it was looking kind of spooky. And if that's the reason why the creators left, then okay, boycott that shit. But if it's just a rumor and there was legit just creative differences, then we're going to see this series when it comes out. Thoughts on Dragon Ball GT? GT's okay. I mean, it doesn't hold a candle to the original series, but it's got some cool stuff. I did like the ending of GT. I like Super Saiyan 4. That was basically it. What's your favorite Case Closed episode and what was it about? So I haven't really watched all of Case Closed, as you guys know, because that's not a series that you can watch every episode, because every episode is just another different mystery of the week. There's very little story content in Detective Conan, if you can believe it or not. But I have more favorite movies than episodes. So for me, my favorite, I love Case Closed Movie 2, The 14th Target. I love Movie 3. I love Movie 6. You know, I'm more of a movie kind of guy, because at least that way it's easier to recommend to people. Okay, Player Productions said... What did he say? Oh, take it easy, Chris. Thank you for coming to the stream, bro. Take care. That chicken's cold, Neo. Yeah, it's cold. The things I do for the stream. Because I ain't going to be like BG and get on here and just eat chicken. Yo, y'all remember when BG... Yo, I think he still does this. When BG be eating during his streams. It'd be so funny. Oh, Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata? Yeah. What was that episode called? The Moonlight Sonata Murder, I think? That was a good two-parter, man. And that was crazy because that episode is one of the few Case Closed episodes where they actually reference it later on down in the series. I remember that shit because it was one... I think it was in like the 70s. There was an episode where... Oh, man, this shit got deep, actually. Holy fuck. Okay, so to give you guys a little bit of the backstory. Spoilers for an almost 30-year-old series. But... in Case Closed, there's this episode, right? Very early on in the series. I think it's not even 15 episodes in. And I just dropped my glasses. Not even 15 episodes in. Where you have... there's this person who the main group befriends. And that person who they befriend ended up being the murderer all along. And she was getting revenge for her father, who was murdered by these people. Really disgusting people, mind you. And so this person, after they did all that stuff and they knew they were going to get caught, they committed suicide. And that was the end of the episode. It kind of fucked with the main character, Conan, a lot. And then like 70 episodes later, there's another scenario where one person, she killed somebody. We thought she was a good person. And she was going to kill somebody else until they stopped her. And she was like, no, I need to end this now because of what I've done. This is terrible. I can't live with myself. And then they stopped her from committing suicide, right? Even though she was going to be sent to jail afterwards for the murder. So this character, his name is Hattori Heiji. He's Conan's rival in the sense that, you know, they're both detectives. And he straight up said, I don't know, Kudo, maybe we should have let her commit suicide. You know, like this whole situation is fucked. And then Conan just went straight. He was like, Harley, if you corner a villain with your deductions and then you let that villain commit suicide, you're no better than a murderer yourself. And Harley was, you know, it was kind of like an agree to disagree sort of moment. And Harley's just like, okay, damn, you know, like it sounds like this is pretty personal for you. And Conan said, it's just because I've watched it happen before and now I have to live with it. And it flashed back to that scene like 70 episodes back. I was like, yo! Because the show, like I said, it's mystery of the week. So there's not a lot of story content that is there. The story content is like sprinkled in between every 1,000 episodes. But then I saw that shit and I was like, that's how you know Moonlight Sonata was a dope ass episode. But yeah, I think some of the Case Closed fans here will remember that shit. Time for a hard one. Pause again. Top 5 PS4 games. All right, no particular order. The top 5 PS4 games that I enjoyed playing the most. Persona 5 Royal. That's 2 spots right there. It's like, so all of Persona 5, God of War, Nier Automata, Yakuza 0, and if I had to throw a 5th game in there, like I said, there's so many dope ass games out there, you guys. So many. If I had to throw a 5th game, I said Devil May Cry 5. So it's God of War, Persona 5, Nier Automata, Yakuza 0, Devil May Cry 5. So those are like the 5 games. And mind you, there's a lot of other games that are on that level, but you asked for 5, so had to do it. You remember when BG snapped that Uncharted 3 disc? Oh, you mean when he struggled to snap that disc? Because he didn't snap that shit. He was struggling, man. That disc almost kicked his ass. Shout out to BG, though. He's dope. Oh, take it easy, Frederick. Take it easy, bro. Good seeing from you again, man. Good hearing from you, bro. And I will, maybe not the next time you come back, but within the next year or so, I will have started 13 Sentinels. And then we can talk about that on the stream. Yo, y'all gotta hop on Nier Automata. That game has been on sale for like $10 at some points. Y'all gotta do this. But what about y'all? What are your top 5 PS4 games? Or top 5 Xbox games? What's your opinion on One Piece overall, considering it's the most successful anime of all time? Well, I got nothing but love for One Piece. Granted, I am not caught up to One Piece. I'm like on chapter 600 something. And that's where I stopped on my rewatch, or I should say, reading of the manga. Because I never really read the One Piece manga until early last year. And I was hella consistent with it, man. One Piece is very easy to read through. But yeah, One Piece, I would say, I mean, it's one of the best shonens for a reason. And it's not just because it's the most popular. Like, what Oda has done with that world and his world building and how he just referenced. So some stories go like this. Other stories, they go like this. Oda is just like this. And then everything is, while the story is going, it's literally, One Piece fans know exactly what I'm talking about. He'll reference shit that happened like 20 years ago. Like, damn, Oda the GOAT. But yeah, it's the best for a reason. Ooh, the Bandage Killer episode. Wait, Bree, what's up, Bree? How you doing, sis? Yeah, that's the exact same episode. The Bandage. Wait, no, there's 2 Bandage Killer episodes. So there was one Moonlight Villa Murder episode, whatever that was. Yeah, something Moonlight Villa Murder, and then the other one, it was also another Bandage Killer too. Who's your favorite character in Avatar? My favorite character, it's Uncle Iroh. Uncle Iroh, I love him. He's dope. After Uncle Iroh, I'd say probably Toph. Yeah, so Uncle Iroh, Toph, and I really love Sokka. As crazy as he is, I just love him because he's that type of character where it's like, yeah, I know I don't have any bending powers, but I'm gonna still do my stuff. And just to see Sokka come into his own, was very beautiful. Like, that show is just so good. If y'all haven't seen Avatar The Last Airbender yet, you definitely need to. It's on Netflix. They got the HD version. It's so good, you guys. Ooh, Judgment. Yes, Judgment's another good game. I'm telling you, man, it's a great generation to be a PlayStation fan. What's your plan for the end of the year? So my plan for the end of the year, as far as you just like New Year's plans in general, I assume, I mean, nothing too crazy. I don't really go hard on New Year's, you guys. For me, New Year's, I like spending that with loved ones. So we're usually like, for example, for the past 2 New Year's, it's been me and my siblings getting together, playing Smash Brothers, drinking, getting high as fuck, watching movies, and then watching the ball drop. That's what we've been doing for the past 2 years, and it's been great. That's what I like to do. I don't really need to go out there and prove I got a life to people in the club. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that shit. I'd rather just spend it, kicking it with people who I love. That's what I do, man. Judgment is amazing. Oh my god. I need them to do a 60 frame per second patch on that. Oh, take it easy, Scar Atlas. Uncle, I be saying Uncle Iroh because every person in my life who has an I in front of, like, their name starts with an I, they want it to be pronounced with an E. So with that logic, I heard Uncle Iroh. I looked at it. They call him Iroh, but I call him Iroh because that's how every person in my life, that's how they pronounce their names. Their I sounds like an E. So it's interesting. Yes, Judgment is very good. Judgment, honestly, to me, trims the fat from a lot of the Yakuza games. It has the best combat in the series, bar none, and the story is so dope. It's a perfect jumping on point for people who, they don't know which Yakuza to start with. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised about that, Justin, because, yeah, Judgment, it takes place in the same world, but it's its own little pocket of the world. So that's great. How you feel about Nolan crying over HBO Max? Yo, me and my sister were just talking about that, Fear No Hate. Oh, shout out to you, bro. Hope you're doing good. Me and my sister were talking about how Christopher Nolan fought tooth and nail to get Tenet on in the theaters to give it the theater experience, and then now Tenet 2 is going to premiere on Apple Watch. Like, that was one of the funniest tweets I read. It was so true. But I mean, Nolan is an auteur. He loves the theater experience, and I agree with him. I prefer watching my movies in theaters. I prefer watching them on the big screen with the best picture quality, with the best sound quality, and I actually seek out good theaters because of that. I love that. And it sucks right now. As happy as I am that I'm going to see all these movies on HBO Max, I still want to see them in the theaters. I love supporting my local theaters, whether it's a chain or whether it's a mom and pop. I love that stuff. And all of my theaters around me just recently got upgraded with like 4DX theaters. My AMC that's 20 minutes away got the Dolby Cinema. Dolby Cinema, yo, Gabe, tell him about that Dolby Cinema, bro. I love movie theaters. I love the movie going experience. I love getting together with people. And here's the thing, not a lot of people are like that, believe it or not. A lot of people, they only just see the movies they want to see, and that's it. But I was in the movie theater like 4 or 5 times a month, you guys. Just like how some people take 2 hours out of their day to play video games, I go ahead and I watch movies. And what was so dope is that Regal and AMC finally got on board with the Movie Pass style subscription where it's like $20 a month. You can see as many movies as you want. And I was in those theaters like crazy, man. It's so good. Like, oh God, I miss it. If there's one thing I miss most about this pandemic, I miss going to the movies. And I've been going to the movies for the past couple of weeks, you guys. I saw Tenet. I drove to Connecticut to go see that. I saw, because I was just hanging out with one of my homegirls, we saw The Croods 2, and we saw Freaky, just because we wanted to go see movies. And while it wasn't like the best theater around, it was great seeing a movie in theaters again, man. I loved it. I really did, bro. It's just, it hits different. It really does. And I think when you start going to movies a lot and you really appreciate when they go out of their way to say, hey, we upgraded our projectors or our sound systems, I think that's when you go from being a movie goer to a film fan, as John Campea says. Oh, God, I miss that shit, you guys, so much. I really do. That's why even though HBO Max, they're going to have all the movies on there, I am still going to see all those movies at that theater in Connecticut. I drive to Stamford to go see the movies at the Bowtie Majestic 6 Theater just to support them and their endeavors, and just because I want to get that movie theater experience. Because while I have a 65-inch 4K and I could go buy like an $1,000 sound system, it's not going to hit the same, you guys. Trust me. I love 4K Blu-rays as much as the next guy, but that shit is not the same, bro. It ain't the same. Nah, if you saw it in Dolby Cinema, probably the audio was better, Gabe. I just saw it in a regular schmegular theater, and that audio was trash. I wasn't risking COVID to see Denzel's son. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, you guys, because I can tell you about my experience going to the theaters during the pandemic. After a quick commercial break, because I actually have to go to the bathroom right now, drinking all this water. So give me like 3 to 5 minutes, you guys, and I will be right back. Listen, I'm ready.
nothing inside. Will it unleash me, burning down the walls? Is there a way for me to break? I'm a sharpshooter at post masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a shapeshifter, have no face to show. Please don't take off my mask, my disguise. Where have you been? Been searching all along, confessing twilight on and on, without a clue, without a sign, without grasping it. The real question to be asked: where have I been? I'm a sharpshooter at post masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a sharpshooter, what else should I be? Please don't take off my mask, revealing dawn. Moments of calm, nothing left to be found. A mirror right in front of me, that's where I found an empty glass, reflecting that's a truth. It's telling words not to be told. I need that mask. I'm a sharpshooter at post masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a sharpshooter, chained down to my core. Please don't take off my mask.
All right, kids, I have returned. I have emptied the bodily fluids, and I have procured some more fluids because you got to stay hydrated around these parts. How's everybody doing since my absence? I hope y'all is doing well, staying safe, drinking your water, making sure that you bring that stack of dishes you got under your bed. Bring that shit to the dishwasher. Y'all go ahead and stay clean. All right, so getting back to what I was talking about before. Okay, so we were talking about going out to the movies during a pandemic. Okay, so this was my my first foray into this, because you guys know me as far as this whole COVID shit is concerned. I do my part. I stay safe, socially distant, wear my mask, gloves, things like that. But I also realized that I can't live in this house forever. I've got to go out into the outside world. I still go to work, and if I go to work and interact with people there, if I go to the grocery store and interact with people there, ipso facto, poison to kill Cusco, why can't I apply that same logic at other places? So I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the movies and I'm going to try that out, see how it is. And it was really interesting, you guys, because I went to the theater and, oh, it was crazy. So first off, all the theaters are capped as far as capacity is concerned. They have hand sanitizers everywhere. They have like the how do I say this? So they scan everything for you instead of you having to come hand to hand contact with things. They wipe down stuff every hour. The theaters themselves, the way they seat people, even though it's limited capacity, no two seats can be right next to each other. So for example, let's just say, if this is, all right, so let's just say this is the theater screen right over here, and these are all the rows, right? It's not like it was before where you can have it filled up like this. You know what I'm saying? You'll have some that's filled right here, and then some that's filled right here, and then some that's filled right here, and then some that's filled right here. So it's socially distant, and it was very well done, man. The staff was great. They were all prepared, and I loved it. I saw Tenet. The movie was cool. The sound mix, that's more Nolan than anything else. And yeah, it was fun, man. And then the gyms opened back up, and I was like, okay, let me just apply this logic, stay safe, wipe down everything before and after I use it, do my part. And shit's been going smooth, man. Like everybody around us in these environments that are COVID breeding grounds, we take the precautions. Like every single person that I've come across in the gym always wipes down the equipment beforehand and after they use it. They wear their masks, they do everything. So in my personal experiences, being around people, it's been very well done. It's been safe. Now, it's not to say it's the same across the board, because I know there are some places where people don't be doing that shit at all. But it was nice. It was nice, and that's why I keep going, because I know I'm gonna get that safe experience. What's up, Neo? Love the vids. Keep up the good work, man. Oh, thank you for that. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody watching the stream right now. I think we got like 80. We got like 80 something. Whoa, there go the Persona music. I always have Persona music on my streams. We got 80 people watching. And we got about 96 likes. Appreciate that, y'all. If you haven't hit that like button, make sure you hit that like button. It helps out the channel, sends this video out into the ether. I wish more people wipe the equipment off at my gym. It's kind of disgusting, to be honest. Yeah, unfortunately, that is something I will say as a resident gym rat. A lot of these motherfuckers who go to the gym, and this is before COVID, I'm talking, a lot of them in general, they don't be cleaning shit at all. They don't be re-racking their weights. It's just like, yeah, I go to the gym and I lift big, heavy things, and you should be privileged to watch me do that. It's like, no, motherfucker, we all pay the same membership. Re-rack your weights, wipe down your equipment. Nobody needs to see a pool of sweat just sitting there. Like, I hate motherfuckers like that. Like, you in this gym, I don't even want to know your surroundings at home. Like, do you wash your ass? Do you clean everything in your house? Like, nah, fam. That's disgusting. Dishes under your bed. Hey, man, listen, Andrew. Sometimes people have dishes under their bed. Come on now. You know how that goes. Yeah, when I saw Tenet at IMAX, I felt very safe, honestly. And even when I was looking around, everyone was wearing their masks unless they were eating or drinking. Yeah. And my theater in particular was like half and half. Like, some people had their masks on, others didn't, but they were so far away that it didn't really bother me like that. Like, I remember there was one person who didn't have their mask on, but they were like all the way in the back of the theater in the corner. So I was like, all right, whatevs, you know? Don't know if you played Nier Automata. Yes, I've played Nier Automata, and I am going to be getting the Nier Replicant Remaster. Very personal, LOL. How'd you get that beard growing? Oh, that's not a personal question at all. No, anything is fair game in this stream. You guys can ask it, and I will say if it's too personal or not, but everything is fair game. So this beard that I have right here, I started growing this back. Okay, so when the pandemic first started, barbershops closed, as you guys know. I was like, fuck it. I'm not going to trim any of my hair. I'm not going to shave. I'm not going to do any of that, because thankfully I was in the position where I was working from home and my other job had closed down. So who do I need to impress? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of y'all found me through the scruffy Neo days with the big ass hair and there's all the facial hair and all that stuff. I'm not normally like that. I usually just have a mustache and a goatee. But I was thinking, yo, this is going to be the best time for me to grow a beard, so might as well take advantage of it. So that's what I did. I was growing my hair out from March until June when the barbers opened, and then my dumb ass, I shaved my entire beard off and I kept my goatee, and I missed it so much that I just said, you know what, I'm going to try growing it again. So I've been growing this since June, and genetically, looking at other members of my family, we're not predisposition to grow a lot of facial hair. Like, I remember looking at my dad when he had the most amount of hair on his face, and I have more than him. So everyone is so, what's it called? Everyone is so, it's different. Your mileage may vary as far as facial hair is concerned. I'm surprised that I have this much growth in 6 months time, which a lot of people watching this, they're like, dude, I have that growth in 2 months. It's just pick, like, nature of the beast. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't choose this shit. It just happens. So what I've been doing here recently is every time I go to the barber, I just have him shape it up a little bit, but I am still in the growing phase. So I want to get all the length that I can. So that's why, it's still a little uneven. Like, I have more hair on my right side growing in than my left. And my barber just straight up told me, like, bro, just trust the process. That's all you have to do, because I was the exact same way. He said my hair was growing in on one side faster than the other, and I just gave it time. And, I look back at my photos from way back when, and I'm so glad I did. So I've just been letting it grow, getting it like shaped up a little bit every 2 weeks. I'm actually going to the barber tomorrow, I believe, either tomorrow or Wednesday, depending on how my schedule looks. And then what I've been doing is I've been really taking care of my hair. So I've been washing it, conditioning it, putting in products to give it like the best amount of quality. So as you guys know, I bought Scotch Porter's beard kit, and I've been using that, and it's been working wonders on my beard. It's so healthy. It feels great. It's not itchy. It's been awesome, man, growing a beard, because I've never done this before. As you guys know, I've never done this in all my years of YouTube, like just let a beard grow. And I love it. It's fun. It definitely adds volume to my face, and a lot of folks have noticed it in the reel, especially when I took my mask off after not seeing some coworkers for a few months. They were like, "Oh my God, you look like a different person with that beard. What the fuck?" And I said, hey, thank you for that. Clean shave for Geralt of Rivia. Oh yeah, it's true. But honestly, my video game characters, if they can grow beards, I grow beards on them. So my Geralt has a beard. Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2, he has a beard. I like beards on characters. I think it's pretty dope. I love Kratos with a beard. It's cool. Thoughts on Uncharted 2, my dude? I still think Uncharted 2 is the magnum opus of the series. One of my all-time favorite games. I love it. And now I'm too attached to my beard. Yeah, the day I have to shave my beard is going to be a very sad day, because I'm getting some professional headshots done in like a month or so. And, oh God, because I know, because the Hollywood look, you have little to no facial hair and shit. And yeah, that works for headshots, but I don't want to give up my beard, man. That's another 6, 7, 8 months I got to grow it. Oh, man. I found you during the Broken Bond days. I don't recall a beard back then. Oh, no. There was no facial hair on my... Dude, I didn't start growing a mustache, like some hair, until I was like 16, man. And even then, I didn't get a full mustache. I never got a full mustache. Never did, because I always thought a full mustache looks so strange. Like, just imagine none of this and just a mustache. That's fucking weird. Yeah, we spent some time talking about beards, man. Let's see. See some other questions you guys have. He lying. He's about to eat that chicken. No, I actually didn't, Ben. I put it in the microwave just to eat later tonight. That's all I'm gonna do. Create your own Dolby experience at home. Yeah, you can do that, man. But it just, in my experiences, I've been to my boy, his crib. Dude, he's got the whole man cave, $10,000 TV. His sound system costs more than people's gaming PCs. And it's great there. Like, don't get it twisted. It is an amazing experience. But again, how much is that really going to cost? And mind you, he didn't start building this setup until he actually had his house and got it down to his specifications. So he's like, I don't recommend people building a full system like I did until they are established in their life, in their careers, and they got their mortgages and everything. Because he said, if I couldn't do it like this, I would just go back to the movie theaters, bro. And so I got to think that's an expensive endeavor, man. So, yeah. And I mean, just go to the movie theaters. $15, you get all that. Not being able to see Godzilla vs. Kong in the theaters. Yeah, that is tough, Chris. What's up, Chris? How you doing, bro? Yo, like, and also, like, there's another thing, dude. Avengers Endgame. Could you imagine if that shit came out on streaming and you didn't see that shit with an audience? Bro, I will never forget my experience watching Endgame. When Cap wielded Mjolnir, the Avengers Assemble scene, like, all that stuff, bro. It was a legit experience. Like, I still get goosebumps thinking about that stuff. Not thinking about the scene per se, but just the experience of being around people. It was amazing, man. Like, it and the sound really hits different, bro. Like listening to Portals, and then just like it's how it's the Avengers theme. It's like dun 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 dun, like that shit when that hit in the theaters, bro. It's like you felt like you were there, man. It was heavy, bro. And I am so thankful and blessed that I got a chance to witness those movies in theaters. I seriously, I'm so happy every single day that I got a chance to see those movies in theaters. Because if anything, if that's like the end of the MCU, then that's my experience right there, bro. So excited. I'm just so happy just thinking about that. I get fond memories. Yeah, and that one guy that yells in the movies. Yeah, for better or for worse. You know, the theater audience, for better or for worse, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But sometimes you get people who are straight hype beasts in the movie. Like I remember when me and my boy Trent and Chad and Jorge, we saw Civil War opening night when Cap was giving Team Iron Man the Star Spangled Beatdowns. We were just like, hey, yo, Cap, let's go. And it was hype as shit. Yo. And then I remember when I'll never forget this shit. So when we saw Civil War that night, because we all knew Spider-Man was going to be in the movie. We all knew that. But we didn't know how they were going to introduce him. So when Tony is talking to Natasha, saying, you know, where's your plan? Outside. Where's yours? And then the music starts playing and it transitions to the scene. It says Queens. We all went fucking bananas, bro. We saw that Queens text hit. We was like, yeah! Like everyone was going crazy, hooting and hollering. And then I guess the randoms were just like, what the fuck's going on? Why? It says Queens. And then it hit when they saw Peter Parker. They were like, oh! You can't get that shit on streaming? Nah, fam. Can't do that shit at home. Theaters got to step it up. They can't be a means to an end anymore. Well, a lot of theaters have. I mean, a lot of people, if you don't follow the movie industry and theaters and what they've been doing to try to circumnavigate things, theaters have been really working hard to cater to what people have wanted. So what have they been doing? They've been trying to amp the theater experience up. So they got the reclinable leather chairs in a lot of theaters, right? They went ahead and they replaced a lot of projectors, okay? They introduced the subscription programs. $20 a month, you can see whatever movie you want in the theater. They were making good strides. And then all this COVID shit happened and, bro. Oh yeah, Civil War is an Avengers movie. I call that Avengers 2.5. Yo, Chris, did you know emulators are actually meant to compete with companies? The courts ruled that they encourage competition so companies don't become monopolies with their IPs. That's interesting. That is interesting. Because, you know, they always demonize emulators. Which, to an extent, I can understand and I agree with. I'd much rather play a game in its original... by its original design rather than emulate it. I know you can go ahead and you can cheat the game to make it run better, make it look better, yada, yada, yada. You can do those things, but I'm just a traditional kind of guy. I would rather play the game the way it was originally intended. But for companies to go out there and strike down emulators, I don't agree with that at all. Because think about this shit for a second. If you are not making this game readily available to the masses, why are you striking down people who are pirating a game that's 20 years old? There's no way in the world people are ever going to play that game and you aren't going to be making any legal money on it. People always say, well, you can go out and buy the game used. Yeah, but the company's not seeing that money used. So people, they use emulators like this whole piracy angle. Like, listen, yes, I don't condone piracy. I do not. But in certain situations where piracy is the only option for game preservation, why is it a bad thing? If you are not selling me that product at all, like, you can get into the argument that, okay, well, it's available in another country, you can buy it there through legal means. Yes, okay. But if something is just not available to sell, like, there are some Atlas games that just, they don't print anymore. You can't legally buy them. You're buying from the third parties. Why is it a problem that someone just takes that copy, emulates it, and people play it? If anything, that's adding more incentive that, hey, maybe we should re-release this game. Like, there have been companies that look at what are some of the most top pirated games, right? Outside of, like, obviously, you know, people are going to pirate Cyberpunk. They're going to pirate every game. Piracy it's going to exist. It is, because there's always going to be people who want to steal shit. But when you look at some of the other stuff for games that aren't available and you look at how high they are up on the list for top emulated games, I think that's incentive that if you were to remaster that game, people would buy it. I might be going crazy here, but Jameel, am I going insane that maybe, if they were to come out there and, I don't know, properly release all the Persona games on newer systems, that they wouldn't chart? Like, am I going insane thinking that maybe all these old Square Enix games that have never been remastered, maybe the reason why they are high on the list for piracy is because people want to play them? Maybe those games could sell gangbusters? Like Persona 4 Golden on PC? That game was only available on Vita for 8 years. And what happens when it comes out on Steam? I don't know. But remember, a lot of these companies, they don't think like us, you guys. They are so obtuse to these things. Very obtuse. So all we have to do is just keep breathing down their necks. We want these games. We want these games. And if they come out and they are quality ports, notice I said quality ports, we have to support them. We have to. If they are quality ports and the price is right, we got to support them. If they are shitty ports like that Nocturne thing, How do you... People have been wanting Nocturne for the longest time. People have wanted that game to come back. And you found a way to botch the port? How? In the year that you released Persona 4 Golden on Steam, how? Yo, exactly. Persona 1 and 2 remakes, Tales of Destiny. Like, let's get it, guys. Atlas is on the Atlas shit. That's all I can say. Atlas hit different. Because Atlas is different. That's just me, you guys. I know a lot of people will probably feel the same way. And that is why I will forever be grateful for companies like Square Enix. We all, last generation, 2 generations back, we all used to joke that Square Enix was nothing but port Enix, right? They're porting every single game under the sun instead of releasing new quality games. We all did that shit. I've made videos talking about this shit. But you know what they were doing? They were preserving the games long term. So the fact that Kingdom Hearts is available on Xbox Series X and it runs so good on Xbox Series X, is running at 4K, 60 frames per second, little to no load times whatsoever, that is such a win, because long term we know we are going to have this amazing experience of a game, as opposed to the original game on PS2, which, 480p, 30 frames per second. Like, I think a lot of people, we should be applauding and celebrating those ports instead of just saying, ugh, how many times are they going to re-release Resident Evil 4? How many times are they going to re-release Skyrim? If you're going to re-release a game multiple times and every single time you re-release it, it keeps getting better, like you bump the frame rate, you fix some things, by all means, go for it. Because there's a lot of games that I would love to see. And that's why I love Xbox's approach to backwards compatibility. I know a lot of people like to say, ugh, why would you buy a new system to play old games? But listen, the fact that people have an opportunity to play Skate 3 on new hardware, play the Lost Odyssey on new hardware, and you could just download that from the store or use your disc and download that version, that's a major W. Now, long term, the longevity of those things, I am kind of worried, because once those games, the licenses run out, they're going to get delisted. Okay, so maybe if Microsoft finds a way where so long as you download it to your drive, you can keep it forever and then back that up, maybe they can do something. But still, that's a great approach. That's a better approach than Sony, who's just saying, fuck that shit, bro. Old games, fuck that shit. Yeah, Square Enix is the best. Like, Square Enix, they get a lot of things wrong. But when they succeed, they succeed. Oh, we have a $5 super chat coming in from Game Inspection. Thank you for the support, Jameel. Appreciate it, brother. Nocturne was a mess because it was never ported, so it had no base to work with because it was made for the PlayStation 2, and the Unity engine messed it up too. Oh, God, Unity. Oh, yeah, but I mean, I figured it was that whole situation, and just in general, Jameel, I mean, we've talked about this. Atlas, even though they are a big company, Japanese development is still really behind the times, whereas Western studios, they get shit going like this quick. Boom, boom, boom. It's like it took Japan so long to catch up to HD development. HD development, guys. I'm not talking about 4K shit. I'm talking about 720p, 1080p shit. And it took them years to figure that shit out. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense to an extent, but I still think that's no excuse. They could have outsourced it to somebody who knows what to do, who does ports. There's a ton of these companies that do ports for PS2 games on Switch and PS4 that run great. I think it was just Atlas being a little obtuse. How about them old Fire Emblem games? Yes, exactly. Again, here's another company, Nintendo. Terrible at game preservation. Terrible. Xbox is like the only company that's good at this shit. Nintendo has so many classic games that I guarantee you guys, if they re-release F-Zero, any of the older Star Fox games, you know, all the old Fire Emblem games, if they put them shits on the store, listen, they don't even have to have visual enhancements. They can just give them a resolution bump, and I'd be okay with that shit. Do you know what would happen? All of those games will be charting left, right, and center. Dude, I'm telling you, there's money in this shit, but they just don't want our money, man. I feel like people just gave up on F-Zero. No, people didn't give up on F-Zero, Marcus. Nintendo gave up on F-Zero. Because Nintendo's the type to release a game, they'll fuck up the game, and then they'll blame it on us. Like Star Fox. They fucked up Star Fox on the Wii U, and they're like, well, we don't know if we'll do another Star Fox game, because we didn't see a lot of support the last time around, because y'all bust, man. Let me just drink my water and mind my business. It was a bad port. But to be fair, it is much easier to port from older hardware to hardware within that same realm rather than going straight to like PlayStation or Switch. You know, that's a different beast entirely. As strange as that sounds, but I think y'all understand what I'm saying. Yeah, man, that Star Fox game. Oh boy. But these Japanese companies are getting much better. Like Shin Megami Tensei 5. When that comes out next year, correct me if I think it is. Yeah, it's a simultaneous worldwide release, right? Guys, that is unheard of for Atlas. Dude, even Persona 5 Royal released in Japan like 6 months before we got it. You know, so for them to launch their new game, simultaneous worldwide release, like first off, from a localization standpoint, that's a lot of stuff to transfer over. A lot of stuff. And then it's not localization is not just translating stuff into English. It's taking the Japanese, translating that very loosely into English, and then from there adapting that into something that's palatable for an English-speaking audience. So things, how would this gel in a conversation? How would this gel if somebody was speaking about it? Are people really going to understand the context of this? Like, there's a lot that goes into localization. It's not as easy as a lot of people think it is. It takes a lot of work, which is why a lot of these studios are doing these localizations simultaneously. Like, at the same time they're making these games, they're making a version for the Western audiences, or not just the English-speaking audiences, but, you know, Spanish-speaking audiences, French, German, Portuguese, Korean, Chinese, all different types of languages. It's a lot. It is a lot, you guys. So that's why I think, Jamil, you can agree with me on this. This is why whenever there's a really good Japanese game that comes out, I always tell people we got to support this shit, because there is a lot of work that not saying that there isn't work into Western games, because there is, but there is a lot of work that goes into localizing a Japanese game, that culture, understanding all that stuff into multiple different languages that people do not realize. And I've spoken with people who work at these production companies. It's a lot of work. Have you watched High Score on Netflix? It's a video game documentary. I've heard a lot of things about that, so I might check it out. But yeah, man, these Japanese games go hard. I just have to pace myself when playing them, because they're so good, man. But I gotta. So here's my question for you guys, and I'll probably wrap up the stream here soon, because I do want to go eat that fried chicken. But what is everybody playing right now? So I know we're all trying to conquer our video game backlog. What I've been doing here recently is I've just been focusing on 3 games, and no other games are touching my system but these 3. 3 different kinds of games, okay? So as you guys know, I'm going through Kingdom Hearts on the Xbox Series X. Yes, it's a game that I've played 40 billion times. I love that franchise. Even though I love to take a piss on the franchise for the stupid shit, Kingdom Hearts is one of the best franchises in all of gaming for me. I love that shit to death, and I can't wait till I get to Kingdom Hearts 2 again. So I'm playing Kingdom Hearts as sort of kind of like my comfort food experience, where it doesn't matter how I'm feeling, whether I'm stressed or really energetic and happy, I can boot up Kingdom Hearts and just play that shit from beginning to end. So I'm doing that as kind of like my woosah game. Then I have Persona 5 going in the background. That's like my ongoing game, something that I know it's going to take me a few weeks to finish, but I'm determined to make that game the game that I focus on. Okay? And then the third game, and the third game that I'm playing is something that I'm very strategic with this one. This is a game that I know I can knock out within like a weekend, right? So these are games that are anywhere from 6 to 15 hours at max. Nothing too crazy, nothing too engrossing in terms of investment, right? So the game that I picked for this one is Control. I just bought Control, the Ultimate Edition on Xbox, because it was $20, and you get the DLC and the next gen update when that hits. So I'm gonna be playing Control starting probably tonight, and I'm gonna go through that. And then once I finish that, I'll move on to that next game that's within like that 6 to 15 hour range. And once I finish up Persona 5 Royal, I'll move on to like a next big game, whatever that may be, and just go from there, man. You know, and I think it's working out really great for me because, you know, I wake up really early in the morning these days, so I always have some extra time to play games. So I would just boot up either my Xbox or my PlayStation, and I would play Persona or Kingdom Hearts, and I put like an hour or so into that. You know, go about my business throughout the day, do my work, go to the gym, errands, things like that, and then I would end off the night with another hour or two of gaming for whatever it is. And it's been working really good, you guys, like insanely well. I think I found my rhythm. Because before I was just like, all right, let me just play one big game, focus on maxing everything out about this big game, and then move on to the next one. But by the time that I had done that, I was already so burnt out. Because, you know, the games I play are like 100 hours long. And if you put time into it, like extra time, it's like 150 hours. So I realized that's not feasible for me right now in my life. So I need to have some variety, some palate cleansers. And while it might take me a few extra weeks, I'm taking my time and I'm enjoying the process, which is honestly it's been the best thing for me because I don't have to rush anything. I don't have to like beat it for before the conversation is over. You know, I enjoy it, man, and I love it. It's so good. Control is on a game. Yes, Control is on Game Pass. So that's why I assume a lot of people are playing it. But I decided to buy the Ultimate Edition. Like I said, one of my followers on Twitter recommended I do that because he's like, listen, this game is dope. I know I'm going to be replaying it on the Series X when that patch hits. So just buy the Ultimate Edition right now. Secure yourself for the future. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, you guys, that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing, you guys. And I got some stuff going on with the channel behind the scenes that y'all be seeing soon enough. I got more videos in the pipeline, you know, Miles Morales review, things like that. And just in general, back to the commentaries on the industry and all that. I've just been focused on like all this PS5 and Xbox stuff that I didn't even want to say I took a break from YouTube because I'm still around here, you guys, you know that. But I just let myself enjoy this gaming without having to, you know, just rush a review out or just to talk about it, which is what I love. You know, I love being able to enjoy this shit. It's great. But yeah, you guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up tonight's episode of Asking You. Wait, hold on, wait. Before I do that, Players Production, what was your question, man? Because I feel really bad about it. Ask me the question one more time, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap up this stream, you know? And then Arson, I know you had a question too. I think something about how do you get your wife to, you said how to get your wife to smoke weed. I feel bad because Player Production and Arson did ask questions, and I went through everyone's question multiple times, but I didn't get those two. So Arson and Player Productions, both y'all just ask your questions again, and I will answer them. And until y'all do that, Colin says, do you feel that Japanese game development is more conservative? Yes, it definitely is. And in some situations, it works out great for them because they know their budgets for their games. They don't go too hard. And it's cool. I mean, I would love for them to be a little bit more ambitious in a lot of ways. But when they finally start getting with the times, we get amazing games. So, you know. Okay, so you asked the chat if you should ask a girl out. Okay, so this is a good question. Shoot your shot. Whatever you do, man, shoot your shot. And if you get rejected, okay, Move on to the next one. That's fine, bro. But you never know. You literally never know what'll happen if you shoot your shot, because sometimes they might be receptive to that. You hit her with the eye emoji, she hits you with the eye emoji. If so facto, Poison Kill Cusco, Player Productions is all up in someone's daughter's guts. You know what I'm saying? So just shoot your shot, man. And if not, bro, just move on. Talk to the next one. There's billions of people on this planet, bro. Don't be stressing about one. All right, so Arson Lock's question is, how do I get my wife to be cool with me smoking weed? Okay, so as far as this is concerned, bro, all right, so I can't speak for you specifically on how you partake in the Mary Jane and what it does for you, but as you guys know, for the past like 3 months or so, I've been actively engaged in the recreational use of marijuana, which is something, I mean, I've always, I've smoked weed here and there before. I've had a few edibles in my days, but never consistent with it. There would be like weeks or months where I don't do that stuff because I don't have an addiction to these things. But my homeboy, who's actually one of my biggest supporters for the channel, he bakes edibles and he sold me a dozen and I had it and I just love the way I felt on it. It helped me get really good sleep, and I don't have any type of an addiction to it, so I can go days without having it, but I just like how I feel on it. It zens me out. I'm relaxed. And I was just like, this is very good. I like this as part of my routine, and I still feel great. I don't feel any different in terms of how, because, people always said, oh, if you start smoking weed, that's just down the rabbit hole of all of these crazy drugs, that whole shtick. And it's been cool for me. So, I mean, honestly, bro, it's been nice because I've been bonding with my siblings over it, and we're just zen. Are you stressed, Neo? No, I'm not really stressed. So I just do it just to feel good, and it feels nice, and I like it. And I think that's the healthy relationship that I have with it, where I could go days without it, and then the one time I have it, I feel good. But you gotta also look into other people's perspectives of it. So let's say, for example, if you're smoking all around the house or the apartment and your girlfriend don't like the scent of it, I mean, if you love her and you're trying to make shit work, there are going to be some compromises. So maybe instead of smoking it in her face, you go outside to smoke it. Maybe that's going to be the compromise. Maybe she might never want to get into this because some people just, they don't like it, and that's fine. Like one of my homeboys, my closest friends, he doesn't drink at all, period. And you know me, I love to drink when I go out with my friends, but I'm not going to try to force him to take a shot of this with me. We enjoy our good time together. We have a great night out, and that's fine. So you kind of have to get over other people having a difference of opinion for you in terms of what you enjoy, right? Unless it's cigarettes. I can't tolerate that shit at all, but some people might. So you never know. So yeah, man, just test the waters. Again, this sort of thing, you don't have to bond with somebody over marijuana or alcohol. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to. So if you want to get her to start smoking with you, maybe start small. You know what I'm saying? I will say this though, even though it's a little pricey, edibles, I've gotten a lot of people into recreational usage using edibles rather than smoking, because smoking is, as weird as it sounds, there is an art to it. And if you don't know how, you could really not fuck up your lungs, but you can start coughing like crazy. And that could turn somebody off from the whole experience. So yeah, try maybe like a small piece of an edible, see how it is, see how they react to it. Give them a baby piece, because that shit might that shit might send them to a whole other dimension, and go from there. Now it smells like candy to me when I smell it. Same thing, folks, things. And I have a pen too, and I bought cartridges, so I have like all different types of smells, and it just smells really good, man. It smells really good. But that's my advice to you, Player Productions and Arson Lock, as far as that's concerned. Don't really stress about it too much, and if it gets to the point where weed is really about your life on the day-to-day basis, one of two things got to happen. Either A, you have to reevaluate what's going on in your life where a substance is taking control of your thought process, and number two, maybe work around some type of compromise where she doesn't have to understand it, but she can accept it. Like compromise on these things. Compromise this stuff. Oof, but yeah, I did not. Did you guys ever think 12 years ago we'd be talking about freaking weed on this live stream? It's so weird, but it's awesome too. Because like I said, guys, if any of y'all ever meet me in the real, trust me, I am the exact same person as you see on these streams. I am exactly the same. Nothing changed at all. I'm just this dude, this genuine dude, man. How tall are you? I am 6'3", 9/10, technically 6'4". Technically 6'4". Alrighty. But yes, you guys, it's time to wrap things up for the night. Thank you guys so much for another dope Ask Neo. I always love getting on camera and kicking it with y'all. It is a privilege and a pleasure to be in y'all's honor. And I know you probably heard that from all the other YouTubers out there, but I really do mean this shit, man. Why would I still be on YouTube after 12 years if I didn't fuck with y'all? Like, y'all is family to me. Whenever the world returns back to normals, we all hitting the club. We all getting our dance game on. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to bribe the DJ with $50 to play an anime playlist, followed by Devil May Cry. It's going to be ridiculous, bro. And of course, you got to throw in some Persona in the mix. But yeah, you guys, what's it called? Enjoy the rest of your night, your morning, your evenings, your afternoons. Expect more content coming out later in the week. This Friday, the long-awaited return to my podcast, the Deep Dive podcast, is coming back. So I'm going to post it out on Spotify, YouTube, all the other social media sites and all that. And I like to see Neo bust some moves. Yo, you know what's funny, folks? Things I used to be so self-conscious about dancing up until like last year, where I just realized, yo, sometimes when it comes to dancing, you just got to feel the rhythm and act to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be a professional dancer, you can do all that, but sometimes dancing, you just be in there just doing whatever, man. Like, I'll never forget this shit, right? When I was playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna, the Golden Country, the DLC, and you know that battle theme is hype as fuck, right? So I was listening to that jazz, and I felt something. And I remember I was in the car in traffic one time going to work, and I was getting jiggy to that shit. And I was like, oh damn, right? And then I started doing that, you know, just in the reel when I'm in the kitchen cooking, listening to something. I start dancing a little, and it literally is all about how you feel and what this music does to you. So it's cool like that. We have a last minute $20 super chat coming in from Mercy Buckets. Thank you so much. Good to be back. I've been working a lot lately. Excited about the new Dragon Age and Wolf Among Us 2 trailers being shown at the Game Awards this week. Hoping to see Horizon 2 gameplay, maybe a teaser for the Initiative's new project, and Hellblade 2. Man, I would love to see all of those things show up, like every single one of them, but I'm just going to take it for what it is. So if we get some surprise announcements, I'm fair game for that. And if it's just another waste of time, hey, maybe next year might be better. But Mercy, thank you so much for the support, brother. I appreciate that. And good luck to you, man, you know, with the working. You know, I understand that when you just work so much and then you relax for a little bit, it feels different. But yeah, just take care of yourself, bro. But other than that, you guys, all the links down below in the video description to my Twitter, to my Instagram page. And if you guys, I always say this every stream, but if you need to get in contact with me to talk about anything, if you needed life advice or what have you, hit me up on my Twitter DMs or through my Instagram DMs. I'm always here. I can't guarantee you I'll get back to you as soon as possible, but I do get back to everybody. And I love recording voice messages, so just keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all, enjoy the rest of your nights. Have a great week. Happy gaming. Happy anime watching. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace out, y'all. Take care.